C97.3.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Good evening.
Well, I don't think 10 months is long enough. Chris Langham I'm talking about, of course. I don't think 10 months is long enough for something like that. Seriously. 10 months? We can maybe talk about that a bit later on if you want. 0870 9090973. It's Iain Lee's Good Evening. Here at LBC 97.3 where the fun never ends. I've got Christian with me. Good evening, Christian.
Good evening.
Alex Charles is here. Alex?
Yes, sir.
So there's this big Thames Festival in London over the weekend. I'm very we'll wait for the music to stop. So there's this big Thames Festival over the weekend, and very excitingly, one of the bands that's playing at the festival, they're a Japanese band, and I can't say their name. It's like Chintalam. The last word, this is how the word is spelled. M for mother, V, T-A. What? That's anyway, they're described as a Japanese street gypsy band. Or Gypsy Street Band, or anyway, they're coming in on Sunday night at midnight to play, and a member of that is a member of the Kurikorda Quartet, the Japanese. And we're going to have a live Sunday night show. Is going to be very odd. We've got this band coming in. Hopefully they'll play. I'm not sure. And we're going to have a live link up with Japan and speak to the other members of the Kurikorda Quartet. How cool is that? That's very, very cool. That's on Sundays Triple M, where anything can happen, and usually does. Anyway, this evening, there's lots of... Now, get this irony of ironies. A friend of mine, yesterday, signed up for a mortgage with Northern Rock. He actually did. Now, I don't know much about mortgages. I don't really understand them. I let the mortgage people sort things out, and I phone them up when I want to change it, and when I don't want to change it, they phone me up and tell me that I should change it, and I kind of go along with them, and I'm quite happy to go along with them. But how bad is that? He signed up with a mortgage with Northern Rock. Is he? I don't know. We heard people on the news there saying, "I'm worried about my savings." In that exact voice, ladies and gentlemen, was the voice that they used, and so I guess it's kind of a worry. I'm worried about my savings, and my money isn't in Northern Rock. So, I'm worried about that, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, we can talk about that. Now, there's other things that we want to talk about. Chris and I were having an argument about this last night. We actually had an argument to the point where it came to blows. Do you remember in like the 70s and 80s, it was very fashionable to be cryogenically frozen. I say fashionable, it was talked about quite a lot. I believe Walt Disney's head is frozen. Is that true? Can someone call up now and talk to me and let me know? Is that true that Walt Disney's head is frozen? Or is that one of them myths that I hear so much about these days? 0870 90 90 973 is the phone number. But does anyone get cryogenically frozen now? Now, the theory behind this in films like Vanilla Sky and stuff like that, is that you get, like, the cancer of something, or you get a disease that there is no cure for now, or you die, or something. They freeze you, and then 500 years in the future, they defrost you, and they go, you have this disease, we have a cure for it now. We cure it, and you're living fine. Does that actually work? There was the story in the newspapers the other day, and I read this, and I think it's near me somewhere, about these freaky women, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are indeed freaky, who have their mum, they go and visit their mum every week, which is very sweet, except she's been dead for 10 years, and she lives, in inverted commas, in the cool storage facilities of an undertaker's. It's absolutely true. Every week, these women, they go and see their dead mum, put makeup on her, and the thing in the paper, one of the relatives said, there's not much skin left, but they put blusher and lipstick. Now, that's just creepy, isn't it? You'd have to be that's kind of creepy. But is there... OK, here's the question. Is there anywhere in London where you can be cryogenically frozen? If so, how the hell do I sign up for it? That's what we want. I fancy some mangoes. I've really got a real hankering for mangoes. And mangoes in season at the moment. That's what I'm hankering for. Oh, that's another name for a band, hankering. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. And also, then there's another thing I wanted to mention and ask you. I saw a dude walking around in London the other day, and he was dressed entirely in white. He was wearing white. Now, white's a brave colour to wear one colour of. White, just completely white. But one colour's brave anyway. But one colour, white. He was wearing white. Is that sensible? Because white gets... Well, one colour black, yes, it's lazy, but it's good, it works. One colour white, that can get dirty, can't it? Zara, would you ever wear one colour white?
I have done before, but it's not a good idea generally.
It's different for girls because it can look pretty on girls. On blokes, it looks weird, but it's still a bit weird on girls because you're making a very bold statement there, fashion-wise.
I'm wearing a very bold statement today.
What's that?
I'm wearing large black and white stripes.
Oh.
I'm just filming myself now.
Wearing the one.
I can prove it.
That's not a good statement, I don't think. Where are these stripes?
Oh,
in
on
London?
The top.
On the top. They're on the top in London. Okay, well that's
Yep, in London. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you've not called in to talk about that. I believe there's another topic you'd like to discuss with me.
Well, I was going to talk about the cryogenics. I can't really say it. How do you say it?
Say it one more time.
Cryogenics?
It's cryogenics.
Cryogenics.
But I don't actually know. Okay, here's another thing. Can someone call us up with a dictionary definition of cryogenic, please? If you've got a dictionary, look up the word cryogenic. 0870 90 90 973. Tell us what it means. But yes.
There was a cryogenics company in America, in Los Angeles, I think it was, and I think it was only about a year or year and a half ago that you could look up on the internet as well, went bankrupt.
Oh.
And they had to defrost everybody.
No.
I'm serious.
Did any of the people that were defrosted wake up and go, where am I? What year is this? Oh, it's only a year since I've been frozen. Did that happen?
No, I think they just carried on going, I'm dying.
Oh, okay. So that's when you do it. You do it at the point, just like moments before they're dying, so they feel it. Okay.
So how does start moaning?
When you get frozen, is it actual freezing, or is it? It probably involves some chemical being pumped into your blood.
I think it's that chemical stuff that you sometimes see people doing.
What, crack?
On TV.
What?
Not that one.
What chemicals?
You know that one where they kind of do it on like kids' science programs, and they put a cucumber in something, and then it all freezes up.
Oh yeah, but then no, I know the stuff you're talking about. But then you can snap the cucumber in half.
Oh, maybe it's not
so
that.
I doubt it would be that, and it would be a brave company that would freeze people in that because it would be pretty darn poor.
But I think there's probably lots of like icy steam while they're doing it. I think it probably looks quite space agey.
Hey, this Northern Rock thing, does that affect you at all, Zara?
Well, it doesn't, and I've banned all news from myself, so I don't know what you're talking about.
OK, well, thanks for calling. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can email as well. We do emails, as you know. Iain at lbc.co.uk. Iain at lbc.co.uk. You're more than welcome to call. So, what have we set up on our stall of topics for you this evening? The whole Northern Rock thing. It's a mortgage company. If anyone didn't know, sorry, I may not have... the mortgage company, they've asked the Bank of England to bail them out to the tune of, I don't know what, but not a very sweet tune if you've got a mortgage with them. That's got to be pretty bad, hasn't it? Wearing white in London, cryogenically frozen. And this Thames Festival tomorrow, I'm going to go, because one of the either tomorrow or Sunday... Because one of the bands that's playing, Japanese band, is going to be on the show on Sunday. I'd like to go and see them. So does anyone know if it's going to be any good and what I should go and see? 0870 90 90 973. You're listening to LBC 97.3, where the fun never ends. It's time now for the latest travel news.
And if you're heading around London Bridge, do bear in mind it's still completely closed northbound because of a burst water main, and it looks set to be closed all weekend. Obviously, that will cause you problems if you're going towards the Thames Festival. For a start, at the moment, the diversion is via Southwark Bridge. Well, that gets closed in about 3 hours from now, so the new diversion later on this evening will be Blackfriars Bridge. It is causing massive delays on Borough High Street, Southwark Street and around Tooley Street as well. And Tower Bridge is also looking much slower than usual. That's not been helped, though, by a separate closure on Tower Hill. That's closed westbound at the Minories because of an accident near Trinity Square, and it's causing queues back to Limehouse. Long delays around the Victoria one-way system following an incident earlier at Knightsbridge. Also very slow around Hyde Park Corner. The North Circular Road is slow eastbound from the A10 through to Crooked Billet roundabout in Walthamstow following an accident earlier there. And finally, some better news in Hookwood. The Reigate Road, the A217, has now fully reopened both ways between Mill Lane and Horse Hill. On the tubes, the Waterloo and City lines back to normal for the time being, but there are still delays on the Jubilee, Circle, Hammersmith and City and Metropolitan lines, and the overground trains reporting a good service as well. LBC 97.3 travel. The next update is in 15 minutes.
Steve Allen. He loves talking about celebrities.
Oi, fat bird. Smug git, you're a minger. Bit of a dipstick. Scum lowlife. She's too old. Fat boy fat. Tight-fisted so-and-so. Jug ears. As stupid as I think you are. Too snooty. I think they should take him out and hang him. Nasty little piece of work. Really is a moose. You need brains first, love. She is a minger. Dreadfully boring.
So just who is he talking about? Find out weekday mornings from 5, LBC 97.3.
Where does your front door lead? It could lead to this. Or even this.
Good evening, sir, madam. Your usual table on the terrace?
You see, using the value of your home to finance your investments is just one of the strategies that's helped thousands of Inside Track's customers build substantial property portfolios and create more than 200 property millionaires. To find out how, just call 0870 124 4613 to go to a free introductory workshop from Inside Track. It's the start of a program to help you get the best out of property, whether that's buy-to-let, buying a second home, or even a third. How to find them, how to finance them, buying off plan, how to negotiate discounts. Over 100,000 people have already attended free workshops from the UK's leading property education specialists. Join them and see how doors open for you. Book now. Call 0870 124 4613 or go to insidetrack.co.uk.
LBC 97.3. Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Hey, Dina.
Hi.
Hi. What can I do for you?
Oh, sorry, is that Iain?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I wasn't told I was being put through.
Oh, I'm sorry. You've been put through, and you're now live on the wireless.
Fabulous. And you asked the question with respect of Walt Disney.
Yes.
Whether he'd been cryogenically frozen.
I heard it was just his head.
Now, the story behind it is Walt Disney was actually incredibly interested in science.
Right.
He, I don't know if you know, but the Epcot Centre that's actually in, I think, Disney World, which is in Florida, isn't meant to be part of a theme park. It's actually meant to be a self-contained area where people can live without having to actually go outside it. And it was something that he was developing.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, what happened was I read his
Like Centre
autobiography,
Parks.
and there's a lot of information. They've never, ever proved that he was cryogenically frozen.
They've never proved it, but have they ever disproved it?
I don't think they've disproved it either.
Ah.
Nobody's denied it or done anything either way, so I don't think you're going to get a proper answer on that, unfortunately. But he was incredibly interested in it, so more than likely, if anybody was going to be cryogenically frozen, it would have been him.
It would be him. Well, just maybe think one day he could come back and carry on with his excellent animations.
Absolutely.
Dina, would you ever do it?
I don't know that I'd like to wake up without my friends and family.
Yeah, that would be the thing. You wake up 500 years in the future and who knows what kind of crazy stuff's going to be going down.
Absolutely.
Dina, thank you for that.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye. Sam is in Ealing. Hello, Sam.
Hi, Ian. I just about this Northern Rock thing. Before the question, I just wanted to get everything straight. Basically, I'm assuming that there's an original creditor who credits the middleman, i.e. Northern Rock, and they credit us the money as a mortgage. Is that correct?
I would imagine so, yes.
Right, okay. Now, my question is, if the middleman does go bust, what happens to my property? Is the original contract, the percentage I pay, per month and everything, still valid with the original creditor? Or are they allowed to sell off my property?
I know the answer to this because I had a programme on Radio 4 about it.
Brilliant.
Your debt, mortgage, your debt will be sold to another company.
Okay.
So another company. So say you owe you own a mortgage company, say £50. Another company will come and buy that debt off of them. So you owe the second company the £50.
Right. Now, but the interest rate that I'm paying on that £50, is that allowed to be changed?
What way is allowed to be changed?
Basically, obviously, a new creditor is taking the debt.
Yeah.
And, this happened with that, the Africa thing where people were buying up the debt from these companies and they were putting huge amounts of interest on top.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to do the same thing with the interest that I pay?
Yes.
On that £50?
I think they are. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm sure a listener will be listening, 0870 9090973, but yes.
Right, because that's dangerous, obviously, if I owe a lot of money, and then some other debtor comes along, takes the debt off, whatever the middleman is, whoever that is, and then adds another 10% on top, kind of thing.
Yes, it is dangerous, and mortgages are dangerous things. Scary stuff, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm just assuming that, they would have had some kind of protection against that when you're taking up the debt with a certain company, because obviously it's a very important thing. It's the biggest investment you'll ever make. For most people. For most people, except for those rich millionaires who were spending over $1 million to go up into space. Did you read that in the paper the other day? Well, yeah, I did, and I'm planning to do it one day, maybe 10 years' time. I'm on my way.
Good lad, Sam. Thank you. Bye-bye. He was having fun. We're having fun there talking about mortgages. Imran.
Hi.
Hello.
You just answered my question, because what I was going to say to you was if you have a mortgage, then technically you owe Northern Rock money.
Yes. Can we just say, by the way, Northern Rock have not gone bust. We're just using them as an example because they're in the papers at the moment, yes.
Absolutely. So if you owe somebody money and they cease to exist, I thought, well, maybe you'll loan...
You thought you'd get the rest of the house for free?
Absolutely.
The debt gets sold on to another company.
Oh.
Sorry, Imran, there's no getting out of it, I'm afraid.
Absolutely not.
Sorry,
all right, mate.
Sorry about that. But I could be wrong. I did hear this on Radio 4, but do you know what? I wasn't really listening that much because it was. But if anyone can correct me, 0870 90 90 973. Jessica's in Sheffield. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Iain. I've never been more scared about talking to you tonight than I have been tonight.
Why? Because are you with Northern Rock?
No. Just a feeling. Have you heard about Madame Tussauds?
Yes, I have. It's that place on Marylebone Road where they do waxworks.
Yeah, I've never been. Have you?
No, I haven't been, because I think that waxworks are generally rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they've run out of famous people.
What?
They announced this week that they were going to do a character from a video game, Halo 3.
Oh, really?
Somebody or other?
Oh, Halo 3's coming out, I believe, at the end of next week. It's going to be, hopefully, it's going to be one of the best video games ever.
But doesn't that say something? Well, I don't know anything about that. You probably know more than me.
But the thing is, I can tell you exactly why they're doing it. Because, Mum, what are we doing today? Oh, we're going to go to Madame Tussauds. I don't want to, it's rubbish. But darling, they've got the thing out of Halo 3. Oh, I'd like to go then. Do you see?
Yeah, it's a sign of the times, isn't it?
It's a sign of the times. Kids would rather go and see characters from video games and cartoons than they would Del Boy David Jason or Adolf Hitler.
It's a serious subject. I feel like I should be calling Radio 4 rather than you. It's a sign of the times. But shame on Madame Tussauds for going kind of eclectically intellectual.
Shame on Madame Tussauds. There is a waxwork. Where is it? It's like Blackpool or something.
It is in Blackpool. I've been there.
What's it called? It's Louis Tussauds.
Yeah, it's his son.
Louis Tussauds.
So rubbish. It's embarrassingly bad.
Well, let's be careful how we do this one. But yes, they are. They're. I remember once when I used to present a breakfast show on Channel 4, and there was a big paper spread. Every couple of years, they'll have a story in the paper about this place. And they had pictures of all the different waxworks, and you had to guess who they were.
Yeah.
And they were just like shop dummies.
Yeah.
It's a very
awful.
strange place.
Absolutely awful. I mean, let's remember, for something to be libelous, it has to be untrue. It's awful there.
Okay, well...
Don't even bother going.
Jessica, thank you for that. Bye-bye. Make your own minds up. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm saying some of their waxworks are a little bit tricky to find out who they are. 0870 90 90 973. Oh, now we were speaking of video games there. We're giving away a computer game later on, I believe, aren't we, Chris? Can you remind me which one we're giving away?
We'll be giving away BioShock for the Xbox 360.
And who's sorted that out for us?
This is all thanks to softuk.com.
LBC.com, and this game is rated 18.
So it's over 18s only. We've got a London quiz all sorted out, so we'll be doing that later on. If you want to win that one, we'll probably do that after 8 o'clock, I'd imagine. Jim is in Beckenham. Hello, Jim.
Hi, Ian.
Yes.
What a lovely voice Jessica's got.
Isn't it delightful?
It's lovely.
Yes.
Very soothing.
Yes.
I've got a pop music question for you, Ian.
Bring it on.
2 years ago...
Now bring it on. The last pop music question you gave us was, what band nearly ran me over once? That's not really a pop music question. That's a Jim from Beckenham question.
Well, I've got a Jim from Beckenham question for you, Ian, but it's related to pop music.
Oh, OK, it's one of those.
2 years ago, or just over, I was walking through Waterloo, and a limousine went past, and in it was a very, very famous all-female pop group. Who were they? Female.
The Bangles.
Are the Bangles female?
At least two of them are.
No, this was all-female.
Oh, all-female.
Very, very famous.
All-female, famous pop group. The Spice Girls?
No.
Shampoo?
You've got one more guess.
Daphne and Celeste?
No, it was Girls Aloud.
Oh, damn. Well, thanks for that, Jim.
I think that makes it 2-0 to me, doesn't it?
It does. Well done. You've won. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Do you remember Daphne and Celeste? They famously did a gig at the Reading Festival, which is when it was still a rock festival, and they had bottles of urine thrown at them. That's not nice, is it? Let's go to Sutan. Hello, Sutan.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hi there. I just thought I'd call in and clarify some of the issues about the Northern Rock.
Please do. I know there are a lot of listeners who are worried.
That's right. I'm a financial advisor myself.
Wow.
I have some sort of insight.
Yes.
As far as the mortgages are concerned, you're quite right. There's no way that the lender is going to let go of the funds without having to, I'm just driving. I'll just pull up.
Okay, yes.
As far as the interest rates are concerned, one of your callers asked, what will happen to my interest rate? Would the new person who buys the rate change it?
Yes.
The answer is that they won't be able to change it because as far as your contract's concerned, as long as you're provided that you're on a preferential rate with the lender,
yes.
Until the end of that, you can continue to stay on that.
Right.
But if you're on a standard variable rate, of course, the bank has the right to change the variable rate at any point.
Yes.
So they may do that.
Yes. I see. So that makes more sense. And can you explain briefly for those people who don't know what has happened with the Northern Rock?
The only issue that Northern Rock's having at the moment is finding money to lend to their borrowers.
Yes.
The new borrowers that they want.
Yes.
Because Northern Rock, unlike most other lenders,
yes,
borrow most of their money from the money markets.
Yes.
The issue is they're unable to find enough money to do that.
Right.
So, for example, for new customers who they've already given offers to, which is effectively a promise that they would lend when you actually buy your property.
Yeah.
They're unable to find the amount of money that's required.
And bizarrely, this is all linked up with the situation in the United States when people were mortgage companies were selling mortgages to people who had no ability whatsoever to pay a mortgage if the interest rates changed.
That's right. I mean, fortunately for the UK, we are slightly in a better position because our lending is more regulated than when compared to the States, for example.
Right.
So we're slightly more in a secure position. But like I said, Northern Rock is a unique proposition where they lend most of the money from which they borrow from the money market.
Yeah. Well, Sutan, listen, I've got to go. Thank you very much for that. Very informative. Thank you.
Bye.
There we go. Well, 0870 9090 973 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call this evening, here till 10 o'clock. Then it's the Psychic Show with Becky and Chris, which is always entertaining. You can email as well, Iain at lbc.co.uk. No one's called in to say they dared dress entirely in white whilst walking around London. If you would, give us a call. More of your calls after the latest LBC 97.3 news.
When one thinks of designer names, one thinks of Bond Street, the home to all things stylish. But for me, the real home of designer names is Ballards Lane, North Finchley. That's where you'll find the Curtain Factory outlet and all their designer name curtain and upholstery fabric, which they sell for just $6.99 a metre, excluding VAT. It's designer heaven without the hellish price tag. Visit curtainfactoryoutlet.co.uk or call 0208 492 0093. VAT inclusive price $8.21 per metre.
On 97.3
DAB
and online,
London's biggest conversation, LBC.
It's 7:30, I'm Michael Trabulsi, good evening. Actor Chris Langham has been jailed for 10 months for downloading child pornography. The 58-year-old award winner cried during sentencing at Maidstone Crown Court earlier. Mr Langham claimed he was researching a paedophile character for a television drama. Anxious customers have been forming long queues at Northern Rock branches across London, with many withdrawing their savings. Fears were sparked by the Bank of England's emergency loan to our fifth largest mortgage lender earlier. The Chancellor who authorised the move insists there's no need to worry. The decision to let the killer of a head teacher from Ealing stay in the UK will be appealed against in the High Court by the Home Secretary. The Asylum and Immigration Tribunal has ruled Learcoach Indamo should not be deported because it would breach his human rights. The grieving husband of charity fundraiser Jane Tomlinson says he was humbled to have known her. Mike broke down in tears as he delivered a eulogy at his wife's Catholic funeral mass in Leeds earlier this afternoon. The 43-year-old mum of three lost her 7-year battle with terminal cancer last week. London's weather, well, the skies should brighten up a bit this evening. Well, they should clear, staying dry overnight with lows of 7 degrees. Right now, 20 degrees in Putney. Sunset is at 7:19 and sunrise in the morning is at 6:35. This is LBC at 7:31.
This is Alan Joyce in the LBC 97.3 Travel Centre. Well, London Bridge is still closed northbound with that burst water main, and we have been told today that it's likely to stay closed for the whole of the weekend. Now, diversions are running via Southwark Bridge, but that will be closed from 10 o'clock this evening for the Thames Festival. So after that, over the weekend, the diversion will take you via Blackfriars Bridge instead. It is causing big delays on Borough High Street, Southwark Street, and also on Tooley Street. Some better news, though, on Tower Hill, and it has now reopened westbound at the Minories following that accident. There are still big delays back to Limehouse, and it's still affecting traffic around the Aldgate one-way system as well. Delays around the Victoria one-way system following that incident earlier at Knightsbridge, although it's starting to pick up a bit now. And the M25 has a lane blocked anti-clockwise between 7 and 6. That's with an accident on the Surrey stretch between the M23 and the Godstone interchange. And one lane blocked clockwise at junction 29 for the A127 following a crash there. On the tubes, there are delays on the Jubilee line, but overground trains are running OK. LBC 97.3 Travel. Your next update is in 15 minutes.
So, well done. You've done an amazing job converting what was essentially just a shack here on this nudist beach. And I must say, it's been incredibly liberating for me doing the whole show in the nude. How have you found it?
It's been wonderful.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it as well.
Thank you.
And that's all for this week on Property Ladder. See you next time.
Missed an unbelievable episode of Property Ladder? Catch it an hour later on Channel 4+1. Now available on Freeview, Sky and Virgin Media.
If you dream of being your own boss, start by asking more of your business bank account.
I want free banking for my first year in business. And my second?
I want a business manager who really understands my business and who's local.
I want help juggling my cash flow and a £500 no-fee overdraft to get me up and running in my first year.
At NatWest, we give you more of the things you really need to help make your new business a success. Call 0800 096 8825 or go to natwest.com to find out more. NatWest Business Banking. Another way.
Account opening and overdraft subject to status. Conditions apply.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
So I'm wearing a bracelet. I'm wearing a bracelet. You see that? No, you're laughing at it, Alex. He laughed at it. He said, "Oh, you look like it's a hairband." It's not. It's a bracelet, but it's made of a bit of elastic and some. I got it when I was playing a hippie in Titty Bang Bang, and I kind of like it. Kind of experimenting with it and seeing how it goes, and I think it's going well. Good evening. You're listening to LBC 97.3. Iain Lee here. How are you doing? Good, I hope. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's nearly the weekend. That's exciting, isn't it? What am I doing tomorrow? Well, I've got a Japanese lesson at 10. I haven't done any of my homework. Well, I've done some of the homework. I had to do translation. I did that. But I've not learnt any words or learnt any new letters. So I'm going to be a bit behind with that. Doing that. Then I might go and see this Japanese band at the Thames Festival. Can someone tell me? I don't actually know what the Thames Festival is. I hear Alan Joyce talking about it. If someone can give me a call and let me know what it is and exactly what's going on. I tried to look at the website and it seemed a little bit confusing, I'll be honest, in that it gave no specific times or anything like that. So 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call about that. We're talking about being cryogenically frozen because Chris and I actually had an argument last night as to whether it still happens anymore. I'm not convinced. I'd like to think it does, but I'm not 100% convinced. And what's the point of it? If anyone can tell me, 0870 90 90 973. And also, no one has called up to say, yes, Ian, I have dressed, on occasion, entirely in white. I don't really have any white. I wear white T-shirts. I bought some white trousers once, when I was in Japan, actually. And I never, ever wore them. I never had the guts to wear the white trousers. Now, there's something, isn't it? 0870 90 90 973. Dermot's in Wood Green. Oh, excuse me, Dermot.
Konnichiwa, Ian.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. That's, I only know to say gazamas. That's good morning. But
Oh, how gazamas. And for the good evening, you'd say konbanwa.
Oh, konbanwa. I thought it was...
Well, konnichiwa is just like a generic hello.
Oh, hello.
Konbanwa is a specific...
Like ciao, yeah.
Good evening. Yes.
Well, anyway, konnichiwa. But anyway, Ian, no, just talking about dressed in white.
Yes.
I would never, and I think most white guys, would never... or ought not to dress in white unless they're tanned or whatever, because you're washed out.
What, hang on, you're saying it's like because a white guy would have a complete bleaching effect and...
Effectively, yeah.
Wow, okay, I hadn't thought of it
kind
like
of
that.
somebody with, say, a black guy or whatever, could get away with it.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I think it's a bold statement for anyone of any race or colour to get away with. It's a bold statement, because what you're saying is, yes, I am confident enough to wear not only one colour, but also the colour that is... Whenever I wear a white T-shirt, I always get baked beans down the front.
Yeah, I think so. No, but when you mention the word bold, are you referring to the detergent?
Yes. Yes, no, not quite the detergent, but you never...
It's a bold statement, absolutely, that you can...
Yes.
that you can... you're just saying, look at...
Yes.
Here I am, whatever.
Yes.
Because you're bound to get... And if you travel on the underground, the amount of dust on those walls...
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
It's ghastly.
Yes.
But anyway, Ian, about the mortgages.
The mortgages, yes. It's the talking topic of the day, isn't it, really?
Anyway, no, I can talk to you about cryogenics, too. But the subprime mortgages, the name for them in America, they're known as ninja mortgages.
Ninja mortgages?
God, ninja, which it stands for no job, no income, NI.
Yes.
And then no job, no income, no job accounts.
Oh, okay.
Ninja.
Ninja.
They talk about ninja.
Yes. Ninjas.
Ninjas, yeah.
Ninjas.
But the most baffling thing about how... You see, when debt is created...
Yes.
When debt is created, it is bought by other people with the intention of them maybe trying to get...
Almost immediately, yes.
It's fascinating. Like, it's bought maybe 10p in the pound.
Well, and I was interested to find out the reason I initially the initial reason I heard, let's get that in the right order, that the stock market had collapsed in the States and it was causing this ripple effect all around the world was that mortgages were being sold to people who had no intention of paying them back. But that's not the case. More people were tricked into buying mortgages and lied to about the mortgages they were buying by unscrupulous mortgage dealers and mortgage brokers who never fully explained the mortgage to them. And so people are going, oh, yeah, this is fine, I can buy a house, I can afford to do this. Then suddenly the interest rate shoots up, and it was never explained that might possibly happen, or would definitely happen after a fixed period. So everyone's had to have their homes repossessed, and it's caused a terrible fuss over there, as you can imagine.
Well, absolutely. But the thing is, you're supposed to be informed... you see, there's lack of confidence at the moment in the market.
Yes.
That's why when Northern Rock went, Northern Rock was forced to go to the Bank of England.
Yes.
To get a temporary loan, whatever, because the powers that be in the stock exchange have decided we're not going to give you, you're not good risk or whatever.
Yes.
But then,
yes.
Because if there's lack of confidence
yes.
in the market, for even though the market can be going okay, the thing is there can be the stock exchange can virtually collapse just because people just suddenly think, I don't really have that much confidence in that anymore, and I'm going to pull my money out. That's what happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Damn it! It's you've got that's the right word there. It's crazy. You got the right word. Thank you for that, Dermot. 0870 90 90 973 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Graham's in Rochester. Hello, Graham.
Hello there. Just caught the back end of your discussion about white suits. slightly tongue-in-cheek.
Oh.
Some years
think we
ago,
can still do
the white-tied man.
The white tie's a man?
The white-tied man advertising washing powder.
Oh, Graham, now you're speaking as a very old man, I'd imagine. That means nothing to me.
No. My grandfather told me about it.
Well done, good lad, thank you.
And also Kenneth Cope playing Marty Hopkirk in Randall and Hopkirk Deceased.
Randall and Hopkirk Deceased.
Which was filmed in London.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That was a good programme, that. They remade it, didn't they, with those two comedians, Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Probably not as good.
Probably not as good. The first one was absolutely fantastic, a real classic British television series. Well, thanks for that, Graham.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. John is in Streatham. Hello, John.
Hello there. I mean, basically, I'm an economist by trade, and this entire lack of confidence, I mean, it's something that Galbraith articulated many years ago. I mean, he labelled it rather strangely, rather quixotically as the palm tree effect.
Yes.
And, I mean, in this case, what's basically happening, I mean, Merrill Lynch have underlined this many a time, and I'd completely concur with them, is that when you've got an exponential growth on the side of the lenders and on the, that's actually accompanied by a complete lack of confidence, you'll see a drop maybe 10, 20% in a week, perhaps.
Yeah.
And if that continues, I mean, number one, you've got the entire world economy that's underpinned by America, Britain, and the Western powers. Obviously, its political correctness gone mad.
We're all going to hell in a handcart. There's no denying that, is there?
Actually, I've never read an economics book in my life. Did I do that quite well?
You did it very convincingly, John.
Palm tree effect. Never heard of it. Just read Galbraith's obituary about 2 years ago.
You did that fantastic. Hang on, the phones have gone mental, almost as if people are agreeing with you. You did that very well. I suspect you could go into business as a bogus financial advisor.
Who says I haven't already?
Good lad, John. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. Let's go to Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Woohoo! How are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it being tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, so am I.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the week. This is my first weekend in about 3 months.
Ever? Why? What have you been in a coma or something?
Yes, I've been frozen.
Oh,
no, I hope that's a joke. Obviously, I haven't. I quit my job.
You quit your job?
Yes.
Why did you quit your... It's interesting you should mention that. Why did you quit your job?
Because I had to... it was a summer job, so it was basically... I got paid so that I didn't have to stay with my mum over the summer, and I got to stay by myself.
Right. How did you... Did they know you were going to quit?
Yes.
And how did they take it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was okay.
Yeah.
But they weren't too pleased.
I can't remember the last time I quit a job. I'm trying to think, because I normally either get... You normally either get sacked, or in this industry, your contract normally comes to an end, and that's it, and that's the end of the thing. Yeah. When did I... Do you know, I don't think I've ever quit a job.
Oh, it makes you feel so powerful.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a bit nervous. It's like a roller coaster.
Right.
You know, you go up, you think, oh my God, really, really scared. Then you go down, you're like, oh, yeah.
You've done it out the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good. And I'm a student, and I want my weekends free anyway.
Of course you do. You shouldn't be working when you're a student. You should be out drinking lager, copping off with boys, and, of course, doing some essays.
Yeah. Obviously, that's all I ever do.
Obviously, that's all you ever do. And hang around in chat rooms on the internet?
Yeah, that's quite sad, isn't it?
When I was at college, this is how old I am, we didn't really have the internet.
Yeah, I remember we had this conversation a while ago about what you had when you were young.
No, well, this is 15 years ago.
Anyway.
Yes, there's a point, yes.
Yes, yes. Walt Disney.
Yes.
He's dead.
Yes.
Obviously, we figured that one out. But, yeah, he was definitely frozen. I can absolutely 100%
Have you seen the frozen corpse?
I haven't seen him dead, but I remember as a kid being fascinated by, Disney and stuff, and I used to, do loads of research.
Well, you say he's dead. What research did you do? Did you look in a book?
Picture. It was either the book or the internet. I think it was a book that my brother had, and they showed you the front of the place where he is. He's definitely frozen, 100%. Okay. I'm 100% sure.
Well, Sarah, thanks very much for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973. Now's a very good time to call, should we say. Now's a very good time to call. A little bit quiet on the phone, so you call us up now. You'll almost definitely get through on the radio. I'll do a recap in a second, actually. We'll have a little recap when we come back. But if you do want to come on the air, 0870 90 90 973. It's the travel news now. Here's Alan Joyce.
Thank you very much. And if you're heading up towards London Bridge, it's still closed northbound with a burst water main. It does look as though it's going to be closed until sometime on Monday. The diversions are currently running via Southwark Bridge, but that will be closed after 10 o'clock this evening for the Thames Festival. Of course, that's ongoing over the weekend as well. So after that, the diversions will be via Blackfriars Bridge. Bear that in mind if you're going over the next couple of days. Allow yourself plenty of time. It's currently causing big delays on Borough High Street, Southwark Street and around St George's Circus now as well. Tower Hill, though, has reopened westbound at the Minories following an accident earlier near Trinity Square. It's causing queues back to Limehouse. Big delays around the Victoria one-way system following an incident earlier at Knightsbridge. That's now cleared. The M25 is a lane blocked anti-clockwise between 7 and 6. That's the M23 to Godstone following an accident. And the M25 is a lane blocked clockwise just after junction 29 at the A127. And that's because of an accident there as well. And in Sudbury, Harrow Road is closed both ways between Watford Road and Elms Lane with a burst water main. Tube-wise, delays on the Jubilee line, but the overground trains are running OK. LBC 97.3 travel. The next update is in half an hour.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Can you help me with maths for mums with 3 kids, 1 husband, 4 cats and 2 jobs who need some one-on-one help to get started?
You want Sarah.
Oh.
I'm the tutor for using computers for people who've never had time to be introduced to a computer but need to be so they can introduce themselves to a new job.
All right. Thanks.
For courses you can fit into your day, visit your local Learn Direct Learning Centre or call 0800 101 901. Learn Direct skills and qualifications. Ready when you are.
Galliard Homes investors have achieved more than a decade of capital growth by purchasing at Prime Regeneration and Riverside developments. Galliard now offer the opportunity to invest in their latest Riverside regeneration. New Capital Key at Greenwich Waterside. Prices from under £300,000. Completions from 2011. Guaranteed income until 2015 on selected apartments. Initial deposit of only £1,000 to exchange contracts. Call 020 7620 1500. That's 020 7620 1500. Terms and conditions apply.
LBC 97.3. Iain Lee's Good Evening.
0870 90 90 973. We're still talking about Northern Rock and the whole mortgage thing there. Pretty scary, isn't it, really, I suppose? I'm not a fan of them all. Wouldn't it be great to be mortgage... If anyone is mortgage-free, I don't mean people who rent or live with their mums. That would just be... can you give me a call and tell me how you did it? Because that would be the dream, wouldn't it? Being mortgage-free. Imagine that, not having a mortgage. Imagine what you could do with all the money you'd spend on a mortgage. You could spend it on cake. 0870 90 90 973 And don't forget, after 8 o'clock, we've got that Bioshock computer game to give away now, London quiz. What else we mentioned? I've got a list. I've got so much stuff to get through tonight. I've got a whole sheet literally full of topics. So we've got that. We're asking about being cryogenically frozen, being dressed entirely in white. If you've ever done it, could you give me a call? It's a very bold statement to actually do that. And we've got more stuff we'll mention after 8 o'clock. Before that, though, let's go to Pam. Hello, Pam.
Hello.
Hello.
Steve Allen was saying last Sunday, and has said several times, that he can't get hold of the little gem biscuits.
The little gem biscuits. Oh, okay. Are they? Which ones are they?
They're the little ones with the icing on the top.
Right.
Little gems.
Oh, I don't like them.
Oh, well, he does.
Oh, okay.
And I managed to get a whole packet today.
Did you really?
I did, yes.
Oh, well, fantastic. Yes. Well done, you.
Yes. So I wondered there's about 6 packets in this big packet.
So?
I was thinking of sending him one. Would that be okay?
So what? That's an excellent idea. Do you have the address?
No, I don't. I'd like you to give it...
Do you have a pen and paper?
I have, yes.
I should tell you. OK, so send it to Steve Allen.
Yes.
At LBC.
LBC.
Second floor.
Second floor.
1313 Bramley, as in the apples, Road. Bramley Road.
Bramley Road.
London. W10.
W10.
6S for sugar, P for party.
P for party. Right, I'll do
and
that.
And I'm sure he will absolutely love that. And you keep listening to his show, because I'm sure he'll give you a big mention. So, what? Thanks for that, Pam.
That's okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If anybody else wants to send stuff to Steve Allen, that's the address to do it to. 0870 90 90 973. Ted is in Poplar. Hello, Ted.
Oh, hi there.
Hi.
How are you, Ian?
Sorry?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, absolutely fine.
Good. I'm just calling up to make a correction on that. The lady that just called up and said that Walt Disney was 100% cryogenically frozen.
Yeah.
He was definitely not. I used to work for the Walt Disney Studio.
Yes.
And I actually went to visit his gravesite.
Oh.
In the Forest Lawn Cemetery.
Yeah.
He's cremated.
Oh.
And his daughter has done a lot of work to try and disprove the myth that he...
Well, how did this myth come about then, Ted? 'Cause it's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah, I've no idea. It's been going ever since Walt Disney. I think people just didn't like the idea that he was dead.
Yeah.
You know, Uncle Walt and everything.
It's funny. It's always famous people that aren't really dead, like Walt Disney, like Elvis Presley. It's always people like that. It's never, Steve from 2 doors down the road who passed. Oh, I saw him in Tesco's the other day, but he died 6 months ago. It's always famous people, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's that's all I wanted to say was just to put that myth to rest, because so many people say, whenever anyone talks about cryogenics, Walt Disney is the first name.
It always pops up. Well, Ted, hopefully we've disproved that now by you calling in. Although, of course, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. You could be, giving out misinformation to throw us off the scent.
No, don't worry. It's true.
Ted, you've convinced me. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
But that's how you convince someone that you're not a conspiracy theorist. You say, no, I'm telling the truth. Well, thanks very much for that. 0870 90 90 973 is the phone number. That's the phone number that James in Sheerness has called. Hi, James.
Hi. I've done a lot of research on this, and I've discovered that the Twin Towers, 9/11, collapsed at the same speed as it would have taken for a stone to fall from the same height, which is free fall speed.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically that means it must have been a controlled demolition, because the floors would have slowed it down.
Why does that mean it must have been a controlled demolition?
Because all the floors that were in the way, over 100 floors, they would have slowed down the collapse process.
Well, no, they wouldn't.
Yes, because friction always occurs. Even through air, friction occurs and slows down things.
Right.
So that means it must have been either a controlled demolition or multiple explosions in places. I suppose it could have been close enough to be multiple explosions in different places.
It couldn't have been that two bloody great aeroplanes crashed into the side of a building.
Did you see?
It couldn't be that two jumbo jets. I don't know if you've seen jets. They're big planes.
I know, but
it couldn't be that a plane crashed into the side of it.
Did you see the size of the fires after the planes crashed into it?
No, I did not.
Well, there was not any sign of fire, just smoke.
Right.
Which means it's a dying fire.
Right.
Which means that it wasn't a very big fire, which means the structural damage couldn't have been much.
Well, two planes went into the side of the building.
Yes,
that's
but
quite...
the thing was designed to withstand the same size plane crashing into it.
Well, it obviously...
There are hundreds and hundreds of documentaries that prove this.
Okay.
You just have to look them up on Video Google or something like that.
I have no desire to, because I believe that...
I don't believe what the American government is spouting out to everyone.
Okay, you going to let me finish a sentence, James?
Okay, go ahead.
You. I believe that 19 terrorists hijacked the planes and crashed them into... Now, I'm suspicious about the one that was brought down. I'm not sure I buy that story, but I do buy that if a jumbo jet crashes into a tall building, it will collapse. I buy that, James.
I don't.
Okay,
honestly.
Well, thanks for calling.
Right.
Bye. There we go, a little bit of 9/11 discussion there. If you want to join us on that, 0870 9090 973 is the telephone number. You're more than welcome to. Helen's called in about mortgages. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Iain. You all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes. I just said a sentence I never thought I'd say.
What's that?
Helen, no, it doesn't matter. Anyway.
You said a minute ago about anybody who hasn't got a mortgage.
Yes.
Well, I'm not that fortunate, but I have a repayment mortgage, and with that, I have my monthly payment, but I also have the ability, if I have a bit of extra cash, I can pay extra off on my mortgage.
Oh, I've got one of those.
So even if it's £5, £10, whatever.
Yeah.
And since October, just by paying bits off every month, additional to my mortgage, it's come down by 5 years.
Oh, crikey, well done you.
So if I can carry on doing this, it means that hopefully, come when I come to renew my mortgage, I'll have 10 years left on my mortgage.
Oh.
Now, a year ago, I started with 23 years on my mortgage.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well done.
So, and I know people think, oh, yeah, loads of money, this, that and the other, but a fiver of your interest
Nothing, is it?
every month
Yeah, it's good.
If you pay off the capital on your mortgage, it brings your mortgage down so much quicker.
When I pay off bits of my mortgage, because I have a similar mortgage, I don't go, because I have the option of having the length of time reduced or the monthly payments, and I always go for the cheaper monthly payments.
No, if you go for the length of time, then it means that the capital the interest rate comes down because you've obviously paid more off of it.
Yeah.
But it means then that in 10 years, 15 years, your mortgage will have gone.
Okay.
Rather than bringing the monthly payments down and still paying it for 23 years.
Helen, you speak a lot of sense. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0870 90 90 973.
The Police. The Ultimate Collection. "30 tracks, includes Roxanne, Don't Stand So Close to Me, Message in a Bottle, Walking on the Moon, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, Every Breath You Take."
Every breath you take.
The Ultimate Police Collection. Available for the first time on one double CD. Out now.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Don't forget, at some point in the next hour, we've got the London quiz, and you can win a copy of BioShock, which is the for the Xbox 360. It's the most hotly anticipated game. Well, apart from Halo 3, which is coming out next week, but this game is superb. It's over 18s only, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, it's a violent game. A violent game. But we'll be having the London quiz a bit later on. Steve is calling from Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America,
Hey,
though.
Ian, Fat Steve here. I just want to debunk that 9/11 craze.
Please do.
Well, I mean, I see this stuff on the internet, and it's so ridiculous. And in fact, I was kind of involved with something that's been, publicized wrongly on the internet.
You don't work for the Al Qaeda, do you?
No.
No. Okay. Just
but
clear
a good friend of mine was one of the people who filmed the plane going into the tower.
Wow, that's a claim to fame,
And they're
isn't it?
talking about my friend, and they say Jennifer Spell, a Brooklyn resident, and, she doesn't deny that she took this thing,
Yeah.
claims she received a telephone call from her roommate who told her that an airplane had flown into the World Trade Center. And then they're like, she obviously couldn't have seen this from New... And it's so weird because I called her. It wasn't that she received a call from her roommate. I received a call from her roommate, called her, tell her roommate was okay. For roommate, you can read girlfriend.
Oh, how modern.
And she said she was going out to film, and she totally just filmed, and at that point, we had no idea it was a terrorist attack.
No.
We just knew a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center, and we were in Manhattan, and we were number twoing ourselves.
Yeah, it was. I missed the first one because I remember exactly where I was. I was out on the street. I was in High Street, Kensington, about to go to a meeting, and at exactly the moment the first plane hit, I had a mad woman was just shouting at me. So I remember she going, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" I said, "Yes, love, I can hear you." Then I went into the office where I was doing some work, where I was writing a comedy show. And everyone was like, "Oh, come and look at this! There's a plane." And at that point, you couldn't tell if it was it looked like a little two-seater plane. You couldn't tell if it was a jet or whatever.
And even when we found out it was American Airlines, we thought maybe it was an accident.
And then suddenly the second one comes around the corner. That was a whole different kettle of fish. Yes, I don't buy into all this.
Yeah.
A plane hits a building. Guess what? It's gonna collapse.
Yeah, and I can vouch at the very least for the footage of the second plane being genuine.
Steve, listen, thank you very much for that. I've got to go, mate, but thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. I hope you're having a very shindiggerous evening. We're talking about that. More things to come up after the latest LBC 97.3 news.
On 97.3
DAB
and online.
London's biggest conversation. LBC.
At 8, Chris Langham will serve 5 months in jail for viewing child porn. Portuguese police have nothing concrete against Madeleine's parents and O.J. Simpson questioned. It's 8 o'clock. I'm John Imunger. Actor Chris Langham's going to jail for downloading child porn. Police found images on the 58-year-old's computer with names like bondage 11-year-old and Philippine child prostitute. The BAFTA winner claimed he was researching a paedophile character for a television drama and said he was trying to make sense of the sexual abuse he suffered as a child. But the jury at Maidstone Crown Court didn't believe him. He's been sentenced to 10 months in prison, but will serve 5. Detective Chief Inspector Paul Fotheringham says he's responsible for perpetuating child sex abuse.
This is proper abuse that's happening, which is absolutely despicable. And the judge also recognised that people like Mr Langham are fuelling the abuse of children around the world. I think it's important also for me to get the message out to children that are being abused now in this country. Reach out to us. We can help you. We can protect you.
The Home Secretary will appeal the decision to allow the killer of a head teacher from Ealing to stay in the UK. Jackie Smith's fighting to have Liaco Shindamo deported back to Italy when he finishes a life sentence here. Tom Cheel has more from the LBC News Centre.
27-year-old Chindamo was jailed 12 years ago for stabbing Philip Lawrence to death outside his school in Maida Vale. Last month, the Asylum and Immigration Tribunal ruled that he shouldn't be deported to Italy when he's expected to finish his sentence in around a year's time. Philip Lawrence's family promised to fight that decision, and now Home Office officials say they'll appeal to the High Court to have it overturned.
Portuguese police seem to have taken a step back from charging Madeleine McCann's parents. A senior officer said they had nothing concrete to implicate Kate and Jerry in the 4-year-old's disappearance. According to reports in the country, detectives may be depending on the couple making a confession to prove their suspicions. O.J. Simpson's being questioned by police in Las Vegas over a robbery at a casino. The actor and former American football star says he took memorabilia that belonged to him but didn't break into the room. On the eve of London Fashion Week, Ken Livingstone has welcomed the report by the Model Health Inquiry. He says he fully endorses the ban on models under 16. The inquiry also says girls should provide good health certificates from doctors specialising in such conditions. And in sport, England are kicking off in their Rugby World Cup meeting with South Africa in Paris. It's their second pool match after the unconvincing win over the USA. If you're away from your radio and want to stay in touch with the latest news, weather and travel, call 0901 723 6666. Calls cost 35p a minute from a BT landline. Other networks and mobile rates may vary. LBC Travel, London Bridge remains closed northbound. That's because of a burst water main which is causing long delays on Borough High Street and on Tower Bridge Road. And London's weather staying dry overnight with lows of 7 degrees Celsius. Right now it's 20 degrees in Putney. Then a bright start to the day tomorrow with cloud moving in a little bit by the afternoon. LBC, the time now is 8:03.
So what route are we taking today, Trevor?
I thought we'd go up Fiddler's Hill, Peter.
So past the new Wild Bean Cafe? Oh, they do a great freshly ground cappuccino with chocolatey sprinkles.
Yeah? Right, everybody, change of plan, basics, happy hardcore. Come follow me.
Here we go.
Woo, woo, lead up now.
Hurry down to Wild Bean Cafe at BP Connect. Gourmet on the go.
Thanks to our house band, Stephen Hawking and the Hawkettes.
This has been the greatest experience of my life.
And our guest presenters, Chewbacca and Chairman Mao.
Good night.
Missed an unbelievable episode of the Friday Night Project? Catch it an hour later on Channel 4 Plus One. Now available on Freeview, Sky and Virgin Media.
Inside Track Property Education isn't just for property novices.
I was at a loss how to move forward my own small portfolio of properties. I've been a client for only 12 weeks now, and in that time I've virtually trebled the number of properties I had before.
Whatever your previous knowledge and experience, you might be surprised to see how Inside Track could help you be even more successful. Start finding out more at a free introductory workshop. If you want to profit from property, don't go round the houses. Take the Inside Track. Sound expert advice wherever you are on the property ladder. Call 0870 1244 614 or go to insidetrack.co.uk.
LBC 97.3.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. What are we talking about tonight? Well, I didn't know I could do that. I would have made more use of that before. Right. We're talking about being cryogenically frozen. No one has called in. This is what I really want. It's for someone to call in and say, yes, we did it to my dad, or something. Because Chris and I were actually having a row last night about whether it still exists or not, whether it's actual thing. Can people be frozen to be woken up at a later date when there are cures for that disease, or just whatever? 0870 9090 973. Ever been dressed entirely in white whilst walking through London? I saw someone doing it the other day. It looked most bizarre. It's a very bold statement, isn't it, to be dressed entirely in one colour. But when that colour's white, and I said, if ever I wear a white T-shirt, I always get beans down it, even if I'm not eating beans. I suddenly look down, I've got sauce on me. How did that happen? Always happens. If you've heard on that, give us a call. I found a good website, Alex, that you might like. It's called Kitty Porn. And what it is, it's cats. You know when cats lie on their back with their legs open?
Oh, yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's just loads of pictures of that. It's the funniest. I think it's kittyporn.com or something like that. Don't worry, it's nothing vulgar, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not, we're not...
Are they dressed up at all?
No, they're not dressed up.
Oh.
They're just like that. But then there's funny commentaries, like, Misty lies here and is just ready for some action, all that kind of... It's very funny. I'll send the link to you. It's very amusing. I will do. Sorry, going off on a tangent now. We shouldn't really be doing that. 0870 90 90 973. We've also talked about Northern Rock. And what does that mean? Is anyone mortgage-free? That's got to be the dream, hasn't it? That's the dream. And for some reason, we've stumbled onto 9/11. Paul, you've called in about 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Away you go, sir.
Say again?
Away you go. What was your point?
Well, I just overheard somebody saying that they didn't believe that the planes crashing into the two towers caused them to collapse.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, they didn't.
Go on.
The normal construction of a high building like that involves 30-metre square girders as the uprights, which is where you get the upright supports, the metal supports of the building are normally 30 metres apart.
Right, yeah.
On the Twin Towers, they had an innovative design that actually had all the upright supports either on the outside of the building or around the centre of the lifts, around the lift column. And the horizontals, rather than being girders, were merely stays that were to stop everything sort of bending outwards or inwards.
Right, yeah.
The horizontals and the central column were coated in heat-retardant material, which, when the planes impacted, unfortunately got knocked off.
Yeah.
The design was meant to survive the impact of the 747, and the fact that the towers didn't collapse immediately suggests that the design itself was good.
Right.
But the heat of the fire caused the horizontal stays to fail.
Now, this rings a bell. Yes, I've heard this before, yeah.
And if you actually look at the footage, you actually see that where it starts to collapse, it collapses at the level of the fire and actually pops outwards before it starts to fall down.
Right.
So, although technically speaking, the impact of the planes didn't cause the building to collapse, the planes themselves and the resultant fire did cause the failure.
Do you know what they've been showing? Obviously, with the anniversary of 9/11, they've been showing that footage a lot, and I can't watch it anymore. I watched a whole day of it when it happened. I just sat there. I was at work, and then the next day I had the day off, and they were just showing it again and again. And I watched that for 20 hours. I never want to see that as long as I live.
Well, I watched it for a couple of hours, and it's imprinted in my memory.
It's Paul, listen, thank you for that excellent explanation. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers, man. Of course, we all know that won't satisfy the conspiracy theorists. And, maybe there is some kind of cover-up, but I think we have to accept that the actual attack happened. Yes, I am dubious about the other plane, the one that crashed, that was supposedly crashed by the passengers. There was a film made of that, wasn't there? Airplane 93 or something. I can't remember what it's called. And Flight 93, I think it was called. And I went and watched that in New York when it came out. I was in New York with my brother-in-law, and we went and watched a midnight showing of that film in New York. Oh, it was a very weird atmosphere. Lots of laughing at the funny things Muslims do. Lots of that. Lots of laughing. I say the funny things. You take my meaning. That was how they were being interpreted by the majority of the audience. Lots of the premise of the film is the flight that was crashed by the passengers, supposedly. And lots of cheering and "You go kick them, yeah!" all of that stuff when the passengers when the passengers started taking control of the plane, and at the end it ends with silence. A lot of sobbing in that cinema, as you would expect, in New York City. But it was certainly the place to watch it. Jenny's in Beckenham. Good evening, Jenny.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'd love all of this logic about the government conspiracies with 9/11 and the Twin Towers collapsing.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, it would take loads of people within the government to orchestrate such a conspiracy to bring the Twin Towers down.
Yeah.
But you can guarantee that out of those many, many people, at least one of them would leak it to somebody and it would somehow get to the press. I mean, if you really think about it, certain members, a certain president couldn't even have a little bit of fun in the Oval Office without that getting out.
Exactly. That was the problem. It did get out, and that's
exactly.
Yes.
So there's no way they could cover up something quite that big using that many people.
And also, we have videos of the young gentleman that did the attack. We have their suicide martyr videos, whatever they're called, of them saying, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to hijack a plane and we're going to crash it into buildings." So everyone who says it wasn't them that did it, that strikes me as a very odd stance to take.
Exactly. It's just everybody's ignoring that gaping flaw that is how many people it would take to orchestrate the Twin Towers coming down as a government conspiracy. And how unlikely is it that they would manage to keep that covered up for so many years? It's not.
Jenny, listen, thank you. Can I assume then that you're not a fan of any of the conspiracy theories? For example, Princess Diana being murdered?
I'm not a fan of any conspiracy theories. If I can find a gaping hole in it, then it can't be accurate unless you can explain that.
Good argument. Thank you for that, Jenny.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Strong argument there. Strong words there from Jenny. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to... it's kittyporn.org is the website, and it's excellent. It's very funny. Don't worry, you can go there safely. There's no actual pornographic images, but it is very funny. Craig is in New Malden. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
OK.
Good. You talk about chronologically frozen.
Well, cryogenically frozen. Chronologically would mean time. Yeah. But yes, that's OK.
But there was a tree frog in North America.
Yeah.
That freezes itself for 7 months of the year.
There's what? Hang on. A frog?
It's a tree frog.
That freezes itself?
Yeah. Do you want me to give you the website so you can watch the video while I talk to you? Or...
I could give us it. We'll have a little look at it later on.
But if you Google, and if you go for frog comes back to life from frozen.
So you have to Google frog comes back to life from frozen.
Yeah. And if you look down from there, you'll see videos frozen frogs.
So how does it do it? Does it jump into ice or something?
I think just the climate it lives in, it just gets where it gets freezing cold, and basically it swallows water inside, so it freezes inside as well as outside.
Right.
Now, I did watch a video a couple of years ago back on the TV, and it had a frog in a block of ice, and they put it under a heat lamp.
Right.
And then speeded up the film, and it showed the way it thawed out.
Wow.
And then started breathing, and within sort of 10 minutes from being totally thawed, it was jumping about and back to life. But apparently they do it for 7 months of the year, where they're just totally frozen. And this video here, it's not in a block of ice, but you can see it in the guy's hand, and it's just like a solid stone. It's just totally frozen.
Lazy frogs.
And it just comes back to life. So, I mean, it must therefore be possible somehow. And I know they're sort of, the way they're put together is probably a lot simpler than the way a person is. But, I mean, if they can be frozen for 7 months and come back to life...
Then people can be frozen for 500 years.
There must be a way that it can be done, because I say it's actually happening now in our lifetime on this planet.
Craig, listen, I've got to go. Thank you very much for that. 0870 90 90 973. We'll speak to Jason after this. It's the travel news now with Amanda Redmond.
Thanks very much, Ian. We're still watching big problems at the moment with London Bridge shut to northbound traffic with that burst water main there. Of course, as we have been saying today, it is likely to remain shut all weekend. And at the moment, traffic still being diverted via Southwark Bridge, but later on tonight, that is going to close for the Thames Festival this weekend. So after that, all traffic is going to be diverted via Blackfriars Bridge. So obviously a lot of extra pressure for Blackfriars Bridge this weekend. So do allow plenty of extra time for using that route to get from south to north. Also on the opposite side of the river, Tower Hill still very busy after a crash earlier at the Minories, whilst better news now for the M25 Essex stretch, as all lanes are open now on the clockwise carriageway after clearance of the crash at junction 29 at Romford. But on the Surrey stretch of the M25, traffic is very slow at the moment, anti-clockwise, with an accident blocking off a lane between junction 7 at the M23 and junction 6 at Godstone. The tubes are running well now that the delays have cleared from the Jubilee line, and also looking good for the overground trains as well. LBC 97.3 travel. Your next update is in half an hour.
How did you discover Clive Ball?
The wheelie bins was where I got introduced to LBC 3 years ago when my CD kept jumping. Oh, yeah. And there was some guy talking about how he doesn't take suitcases on holiday because they get broken and bashed about. So he takes a wheelie bin. Do you remember him?
I do remember that, yes.
I'd never listened to LBC before, so I couldn't work out whether the guy was for real or not.
Yeah.
I was just actually sitting in my car wetting myself, and ever since I've just listened to LBC, and it was quite brilliant.
Join the strange world of Clive Ball. Weeknights from 10 on London's biggest conversation.
Late night with Clive Ball.
LBC 97.3.
From Mozart to Mahler, Beethoven to Brahms. You love their music, but how much do you know of their background? Starting this Saturday in The Independent, there's a different composer every day. Over the next 2 weeks, build up your collection on the life and times of the great composers. Find out what's behind the music you love. Starting this Saturday, free, only in The Independent.
A slow commute up to town, or a quick ski down the Stubai Glacier in Innsbruck. Painting the spare room, or admiring Picasso's paintings in his museum in Malaga. The supermarket run, or a stroll through the souks of Marrakesh. Whatever's keeping you here, it won't be the price of flights. With British Airways World Offers, you can fly to many destinations, including one way to Innsbruck from £30, Malaga from £30, and Marrakesh from £60. Don't miss World Offers. Book by the 25th of September at ba.com. Conditions apply.
If you're serious about investing in property, the Property Investor Show is for you. There are over 120 seminars and more than 300 exhibitors, from house builders to estate agents to mortgage lenders and property experts. So if you want to invest in property, residential or commercial, at home or abroad, don't miss the Property Investor Show at XL from the 21st to the 23rd of September. Register at lbc.co.uk for your free tickets. The Property Investor Show. Serious about property. With LBC 97.3. Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Hey, Jason.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, sir. What can I do for you?
I just want to tie in two subjects together, if I could.
Oh, fantastic.
One is the one you was talking about yesterday.
Which one was that?
Was you talking about windscreen washers?
Oh, yeah, the windscreen washers at traffic lights seem to have made a bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, and my first thing I wanted to ask you was about busking.
Yeah.
You've done a bit. Did you do a bit or something?
I did a little bit about 14 years ago.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I phoned up ages ago, and I said I was nervous about being on the radio and could I play the guitar, and
yeah.
You know, I was saying my hands and that were going funny, and
yeah.
I felt horrible, and your legs go, and you can't talk properly. But I was wondering if, because you need a licence now to go busking.
No, you don't. What, anywhere?
In London. This is what I was told. You have to go and audition.
No, no. I tell you where you need to audition. You need to audition if you're going to go on the Underground, or if you're going to go in Covent Garden, and that's it. You can just turn up outside.
But the thing is, I don't want to just turn up somewhere and get moved along like some idiot.
No, you won't. You won't. I could be wrong, and if anyone is listening who knows the facts, 0870 90 90 973. But I think you need to audition if you're.
The thing, sorry, Ian. The thing is, I mean, I have seen buskers before in London.
Yeah.
And if you get a shop complaining about the noise,
Yeah.
and I mean, I've seen some terrible buskers, but I've seen some good.
Yeah.
And the good ones get moved along as well.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is...
Yeah. Don't calm down, Jason.
Yeah, but what are the patches like in Covent Gardens? Because, I mean, many moons ago, me and my friends... Do you remember breakdancing when that was all the rage?
But I do remember the breakdancing, yes. Bit of electric boogaloo.
Yeah, we used to get this is true, we used to travel from Barking in Essex down to Covent Gardens with a big roll of lino, all polished rivers as well to keep it all slippy.
Yeah.
And a big cassette recorder, loads of batteries, and go down there and do bit of body popping.
Yeah.
As they call it.
Yes.
The good old days.
The good old days, yes. Well, you have to audition for Covent Garden, and I don't know if I haven't been to Covent Garden for ages because I don't like it there.
No, I wasn't too keen.
No, it's all a little bit, yeah. But, yes, exactly. But, I don't know if they have just proper buskers there. I know they have, like, freaky, crazy entertainers, but do they have people with guitars who sing, you know...
But there is a part there which is, like, they have all the classical stuff there, don't they?
Yeah, there is, I think. I've not been to Covent Garden for so long. No. Well, Jason, anything else?
There was something, and I can't think of what it was.
Oh,
yeah, going to work the other day, I wasn't driving, I was a passenger.
Yes.
Pulled up outside a newsagent. I'll be very, very quick. Pulled up outside a newsagent's. We was in, like, you know those little Suzuki vans?
Yes, I do know them, yeah, they're good.
Little tiny things.
The little small ones.
Yeah, we was in one of those.
All right.
And a guy driving, bit of a hangover, you know,
Yeah.
night and that.
Yeah.
Pulled up outside the newsagent's. He run in the shop to get a newspaper, but he didn't realise that one car down from us was the exact same van.
Oh, no.
With a geezer sitting in the passenger.
Oh, no.
Same colour hair as me.
Yeah.
It was made my morning.
He got in, he didn't get in there.
He got in there.
He didn't drive it off, did he?
And he tried to get the key in the ignition. I'm sitting in the car looking at it, and the guy's going mad.
Fantastic.
The passenger geezer got out, I was laughing.
How terrifying for that poor and how humiliating for your mates.
It was funny. No, it was my uncle.
Oh, it was your uncle? Well, that's even better then. It's better if it's a relative.
It was absolutely...
Jason, listen, thank you very much for that. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Shall we do the game after the quiz after 8:30? We'll do that. We've got giving away. I always get it's BioShock, isn't it?
Yes, it's BioShock. It's for the Xbox 360. Thanks to softuk.com.
Excellent stuff. We'll be giving that away after 8:30. So if you want to, we'll do it on a strictly first come first served. We've got how many questions have we got in the quiz? Can I just see the quiz up here? We've got hang on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions in the quiz. You have to get all 6 questions right, and you win that game. You've got to be over 18. If you want to book your place now, 0870 90 90 973. You've got to be over 18 now, because I say it is quite a violent game. It's an excellent game, but it's quite a violent one. Yes, let's go to Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hello there.
Hello, Tony.
Yes, I do have to agree with you, Iain, regarding these conspiracy theories on the Twin Towers.
Yes.
If I remember rightly, it was British engineers and architects explained how in America they throw up these huge stories of office blocks and all the rest of it like a pack of cards, and they don't have a centre staircase which would have made the whole structure that much stronger. That's why when these flying bombs, i.e. these aeroplanes laden with aviation fuel, obviously caused the explosion. It certainly wasn't some other conspiracy like designed explosives, on every other floor of the building. And I think it's really nonsense to say that there's conspiracy theories that, that they blew up the Twin Towers themselves. These planes went in, and you can just imagine the impact of a flying.
It's a flipping great jumbo jet smashing into a building.
We'll see it on TV, and they come up with these conspiracy theories, and they really did collapse like a pack of cards.
Yeah.
But apparently, had we sort of done that sort of structure here, the staircase would be in the centre of the construction,
right,
and it would have strengthened the whole thing that much more, and they wouldn't have collapsed the way they did, according to British engineers.
Tony, listen, I'm going to let you go because it's not a great line, but thank you very much for that. It's a good point, well made. Richard.
Yes, hello, Iain.
Hi, Richard.
It's a question, Iain, really. I was listening to a news channel this morning with regards to Northern Rock and the effective bailout by the Bank of England.
Yes.
And the thought occurred to me that we all hear of many businesses that go bust through lack of cash.
Yeah.
And why did the Chancellor see fit to bail out the Building Society on this particular occasion? Because it would appear, listening to the story, that there potentially was, they'd overstretched themselves, in simple terms.
It's a good question. I'm guessing it's because of the numbers of ordinary, in inverted commas, people that are involved in it, and the number of homes that could be potentially threatened, and the number of people who have money invested in that place.
Yeah, I mean, it was the way the Chancellor has sort of said that he had decided.
Yeah.
He had decided. And, OK, it's just a question, but I just wondered whether, as an institution, they got special treatment.
I don't know. It is possible. It is possible, but I would imagine that because who knows what hundreds of thousands of people have got money invested in there. It's good to try and keep them.
I don't disagree with it, but I just wondered whether there was a precedent, because they said I think the last time this happened was perhaps sort of 30 years ago.
Oh, really? I missed that bit. OK, that is interesting.
Maybe somebody's got the answer.
Well, Richard, keep listening. I'm sure someone will call in with that. Thank you for that.
Ian.
0870 90 90 973 if you do have the answer. Now, this is something I noticed. I've been in town a couple of times the last week. There's lots of people. Now, are there people... There are people with the Sun newspaper. Now, are they giving it away or are they selling it? This is on the street, on Oxford Street. Lots of people seemingly handing out free copies of the Sun newspaper. I could be wrong. They may have been selling it, but you get the London Light and the London paper. When people offer me those, God, it makes me so angry. But there were people offering the Sun newspaper like that. Was that right? Were they giving them away free or were they selling them? And since when did the Sun start having vendors in the street? That seems an odd turn up for the books. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. It's Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Ian. Nice to hear you.
It's good to hear you, brother.
Yeah, listen, I was just listening to your conversation with this caller about playing and busking.
Yeah.
It's a subject quite close to my heart, because I used to do busking for 5 years, but it wasn't playing guitar. I was doing, clowning and face painting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there is a festival in Poland which is going already for 12 years or maybe longer. Lots of people are coming there. They're always looking for new people who can do different gigs, whatever, acting, playing, painting, art, basically street art, anything goes.
Yeah.
And if I can say the address, on the website.
Yeah,
right?
of course you can, Stephen.
It's very simple, www.buskerbus.com.
Busker Bus?
Busker Bus. Bus,
Yeah, as in driving a bus.
Yeah, buskerbus.com.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, it's in Polish and it's in English, and it's very nice. So if he's interested,
brilliant.
If he's playing, he can always apply, and maybe next year they're going to invite him. There are lots of people from all over the world coming.
Steve, listen, I've got to go, so we're going to break, but thank you very much for that, mate.
No problem. Okay, cheers, bye.
Take care, bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Don't forget that at 10 o'clock, it's the Psychic Show with Becky and Chris, where they explore the challenging world of the paranormal. Always worth a listen, I would say, always. But anyway, we're here for another hour and a half. So if you want to give us a call, 0870 90 90 973. We'll give away this game as well, hopefully, after this.
Medium duck feather. Lovely. Come on, Brian, you said you were going to be a bit more adventurous. Try the hypoallergenic. Yes, very nice. But can it top the soft duck feather? Be honest, what are you really going to want to snuggle up to at 3 a.m. on a wet Tuesday in Leeds? No contest. Medium duck.
The Pillow Menu from Holiday Inn. Enjoy a better night's sleep on your choice of 5 pillows. Holiday Inn. Here for you. Call 0800 40 50 60 or visit holidayinn.co.uk.
Order! And how is the Minister expected to raise the necessary funds? Clearly the endowment policy mentioned, once surrendered, will provide nothing like enough.
The endowment in question will be sold through AAP.
Budget for much more by selling through AAP. Call 0845 073 1960.
On 97.3
DAB
and online.
London's biggest conversation. LBC.
It's 8:30, I'm John Ironmonger. Actor Chris Langham's been jailed for 10 months for downloading child pornography. The award-winning star wept during sentencing. He'll serve 5 months of that sentence. Portuguese police seem to have taken a step back from charging Madeleine McCann's parents. A senior officer said they had nothing concrete to implicate Kate and Jerry in the 4-year-old's disappearance. Branches of Northern Rock are staying open late tonight to deal with hundreds of customers spooked by the bank seeking emergency support from the Bank of England. Despite assurances that there's no need to panic, many are withdrawing all their savings. 5 men have been sentenced to a total of 33 years in jail for controlling prostitution for gain. It follows a series of raids on 8 separate homes and brothels across London. And a young hedgehog's been named lucky after surviving a spin in a washing machine. The 8-week-old hoglet was washed and tumbled at a house in Bognor Regis after making her way in, hidden in a pile of washing. LBC Travel London Bridge is still shut to northbound traffic. That's because of a burst water main. And London's weather, it's going to stay pretty dry overnight with lows of around 7 degrees Celsius. And then tomorrow, a bright start to the day with cloud moving in by the afternoon. Highs of 21 degrees, much the same as today then. LBC, it's 8:31.
Waiting is pointless. It's biting your nails, tapping your foot. No one wants to be waiting's mate. It's a bus stop in the rain, standing 10 deep at the bar. It's a delivery slot between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Waiting for the latest mobile phone isn't Vodafone's idea of fun. Pick up the exclusive Nokia 6110 Navigator with GPS in store before anyone else, and even walk out talking on it fully charged. Waiting? What a waste. Vodafone. Make the most of now.
Here's a message to people who say things like,
I had a great idea for a business, but didn't know where to start.
And?
I'd like to be my own boss, but the money side worries me.
Or how about,
I need so much help, but who can you trust for advice?
A local business manager from Barclays has the experience to support your startup business and can get you free time with local accountants, solicitors and marketing specialists. So if you're serious about starting your own business, go to barclays.co.uk/start your business. We're ready if you are. Barclays. Now there's a thought.
LBC 97.3.
Iain Lee.
Okay, now, we'll give away the game in a bit. We'll start the London quiz in a minute. But to get things rolling, we've got 6 questions about London. I'm going to ask you the first question about London so that you get the ball rolling, OK? So the first question is, which tube line is Pinner Station on? Which tube line is Pinner Station on? That's the first question. We've got 6 more questions and you'll be able to win the game. We'll do all that in a few moments. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. We're also talking about Northern Rock. Mark!
Ian!
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm there.
Ian, before I get on to Northern Rock, can I ask you a 1-second question about a call I made to you about a month ago?
You certainly can, yes.
Did you ever get round to listening to Shakespearean Who's On Next?
Oh,
do you remember I phoned you?
Abbott and Costello thing? No, I didn't hear it, no.
Come on, get in gear.
I will try. I'll tell you what, I'll try and get in gear.
Shakespearean Who's On Next on YouTube.
I will...
Northern Rock. Been listening to your programme on and off all day.
Can I just say, by the way, to clear up anything, Northern Rock, it's not the same as Northern Soul. That's a completely different thing. As far as I know, Northern Soul is still making...
Their interest rate isn't as good.
No, not at all. So Northern Rock, yes, Mark?
Well, this morning on one of the news breakfast programmes, Declan, whatever his name is, who's actually in the, what do you call it, in the city,
right,
the stock exchange.
Yes.
I think he gave probably the best technical explanation as to what's been going on. And throughout the day today on your radio station and others, I've been hearing about government bailout, conspiracy and all this kind of stuff.
Well, let's hear it explained nicely.
Well, what he explained was that between the 3 parties, the Bank of England, the FSA and the Chancellor...
Yeah.
Essentially what Northern Rock do and other institutions like them do is that they borrow immense amounts of money on commercial banking and they then loan that money out to their clients.
Yeah.
So they borrow and then they sub-lend to ourselves.
Right, yeah.
Because of financial pressures in the industry, and I think interest rates and all that kind of stuff, that borrowing has become so expensive, it is becoming commercially unviable or difficult for them to do it. So the Bank of England, as a lender, have simply stepped forward under other government control, Chancellor and the FSA, and Northern Rock have taken a, inverted commas, loan from them so they can continue to service their banking to their customers.
I see.
And it was said this morning that the government have said that they would not stand by and allow any of our banking institutions that the general public relied on to such a degree to literally go under these kinds of circumstances, and that they did it 30-odd years ago, they've done it today, and that they would do it at some time in the future if it was absolutely necessary.
Right. Well, that makes perfect sense then when you put it like that.
Well, I'm only trying to repeat as best as I can what I heard this morning, and it made sense to me this morning.
No, you've explained it better than I've been trying to explain it, so thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
Cheers, Mark, thank you. It's a murky thing, the whole mortgage thing, and it's easy to get bogged down in it, and easy to think that it's dull. Well, it's not. It affects a lot of us. Anyway, it's time now to give this... We'll try and give this away. I think this may run for a bit, because the person has to get all 6 questions right. SoftUK.com have... Oh, I'm just going to go back and get those the questions up. Hang on a second. SoftUK.com have given us BioShock for the Xbox 360. Now, this is the must-have game at the moment. It is an 18-plus game, so 18s only. It's a first-person shooter played out in Rapture, an underwater utopia in the grips of a genetic civil war. Within the game, you can even genetically modify your body to become a lethal weapon. It's rated 10 out of 10 by the official Xbox 360 magazine and 95% by PC Gamer. Now, to get these, to win this, you have to call us 0870 9090 973 and enter the London quiz. Terms and conditions, of course, can be found at lbc.co.uk. Mark, you're our first contestant.
Right, good evening. How you doing?
Mark, can I just check? Are you over 18?
30 next month, so yes.
Well done, sir. Well done. OK. Now, have you played this game?
No, I haven't.
It's good. I saw it advertised on the telly the other day. They don't often advertise games on the telly, but it means they're putting a lot of money behind it. Right.
Go for it.
Do you know much about London?
Well, I heard your first question, so I'm on a random guess at the moment, so I'm hoping I do.
OK, well, listen, if by the end of the show, if no one has got all 6 answers right, it's whoever got the most first will win, OK? So question number 1 is, which tube line is Pinner Station on?
Right, I'm guessing the Piccadilly line.
Why are you guessing that?
Because I don't know.
It's the wrong answer, Mark.
Ah, nipples.
Yeah, nipples indeed. Well, thank you. Good effort. OK, if anyone knows the answer to that question, 0870 9090 973. It's quite a simple one. You can just look it up on the internet. I do hope these answers are right, otherwise we could have a terrible GMTV phone scandal thing all over again. Ben is in Crystal Palace. Hello, Ben.
Ian, how you doing?
I'm good.
Well, I'm not, because I've had the same experience as you up on Oxford Street.
Oh, with the people with the sun?
With that, yeah, and the other ones with London Light and London.
Oh,
London
and the London Light and the London News. They're so aggressive.
They're terrible, and the thing is, it's garbage once you open it up as well.
There's not much in there really.
Along with the sun, you know how you deal with them.
Go on.
You've got your packet of crisps, you've got your Mars bar, you've got your McDonald's cup. Or maybe you're against that, I don't know.
No, I had a McDonald's the other day.
All right, very bad for you, but nevertheless.
But very, very tasty.
Yeah, well, true.
Sure, bad for you in that they make you fat, but yeah, very, very tasty. Yes, go on.
Yeah, anyway.
In other words, they're not bad for you, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, they are bad for you in terms of shortening your life, but if you don't care about that sort of thing, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, no, they're not. No, they're not. They don't do that.
Have you watched Super Size Me?
I'm going to have to say that. McDonald's, of course, as we all know, is an excellent, excellent restaurant, and they do fine foods. Of course, it's not bad for you. It's very delicious. It's very tasty. And it will make you a bit podgy if you have them every single day. We saw a few fat chuffers in there when we were there, but an excellent restaurant, I have to be said. And they now have. You used to have to ask for sachets of ketchup. You used to have, can I have some ketchup, please? And they give you like 2 sachets. Can I have another one? Now they don't. There was a big ketchup pump, a pump of ketchup. They had fantastic. OK, let's go back to this game. Let's. Who was the first one through? I want to be fair here. Steve.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, Ian.
You want to play for the game?
Yeah, go on then.
There's 6 questions here.
Yeah.
Are there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, there are. Right. They're all London related, and we're calling this the London quiz.
OK.
First question is, Which tube line is Pinner Station on?
Central.
It's not.
I thought it was. Okay.
Steve, thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Can we just check, Chris, that we've actually definitely got the right answer? It's only on one tube line, is it? One line?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
OK, lovely. Richard.
Good evening.
Good evening, Richard.
How are you?
I'm fine. Would you like to play the quiz?
I'd love to.
OK. Which tube line is Pinner Station on?
The Metropolitan line.
It's the correct answer. I was getting worried then when everyone was getting it wrong. I thought, well, maybe we've got the wrong answer. OK. So far, hang on, Richard, I'm writing this down. Richard is in the lead with 1 point. OK. We move on to... Do you know a lot about London?
I hope I do.
OK.
I do.
What's the popular name of the statue in the middle of Piccadilly Circus?
Eros.
He's saying it's Eros. OK, that's correct. What is the main activity that... oh, these ones are easy. Hang on a second. What's the main activity that takes place in the area known as the City?
Banking.
Banking, financial matters. Yes, we'll give you that. That's 3 so far. Oh, this is... these next 2 are easy.
I want them to be easy.
Well, I wanted to have a bit of tension. OK.
I'll pretend that I...
All right, yes, if you could pretend. This one is particularly... I'm embarrassed to ask you this question. Where is the Chamber of Horrors located?
Chamber of Horrors. London Bridge?
Well, no, it isn't.
Oh.
You're thinking of the London Dungeon.
Oh dear.
Richard, I'm very sorry about that.
Oh well.
Never mind. Good effort. You got 3.
Yeah, there's your tension.
There we go. Thank you. There is the tension. Robert's in Hounslow. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
I've got to ask you the same questions we've just asked to start with.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, hang on. I'm going to go back because we've got to get all the other. Chris, are you about to check? Robert, I'm going to ask you to stay there for a moment.
Okay, no problem.
Because we are just going to check that there isn't a Chamber of Horrors at the London. But I don't think there is. Oh God, now it is going to be a terrible blooming phone scandal. Be GMTV. GMTV, I think, had to pay out £3 million. No, we have checked. Thank you very much, the research team. The Chamber of Horrors is... OK, right. I nearly gave the answer away then. Robert, I'm going to start with the first few questions again, OK?
OK.
Which tube line is Pinner Station on?
Metropolitan line.
Correct. What is... Oh, are you over 18?
I am, yes,
okay.
I am, yeah.
What is the popular name of the statue in the middle of Piccadilly Circus?
That's Eros.
What's the main activity that takes place in the area known as the City?
Business, banking.
Correct. Where is the Chamber of Horrors located?
Chamber of Horrors.
Chamber of Horrors. Where is it located?
Is it London Dungeon?
No, it's not the London Dungeon, Robert. I'm sorry about that. We've just had that. Iain!
Hello!
Iain, I've got to ask you... Over 18, I'm assuming, sir?
Definitely.
What year were you born?
69.
Good lad,
the best year of a rock and roll!
Which...
And psychedelic music.
Oh, OK. Which... I would say that 68 was better, but never mind. Which tube line is Pinner Station on?
The Metropolitan.
OK. What's the popular name of the statue in the middle of Piccadilly Circus?
Eros.
What is the main activity that takes place in the area known as the City?
Financial and banking.
Where is the Chamber of Horrors located?
In Madame Tussauds.
OK, well, correct. Iain is now in the lead. Hang on a second. Iain in the lead with 4. 2 more to go. What is the name of Ken Livingstone's office building called? What? What is the name of Ken Livingstone's office building?
What, the funny name or the real name?
The real name.
I don't know!
Go back to your psychedelic rock, young man. You're out, but you're in the lead. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want. You can still call, by the way, about other things, because once this game is given, we'll be giving away. We'll be talking about other things, including men ordering food for their ladies in London. We'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, it's Melanie, though. Hello, Melanie.
Hello, Iain. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I know it's not the done thing, but may I ask, are you over 18?
I am over 18.
Thank you. Which tube line is Pinner Station on?
It's on the Metropolitan line.
What's the popular name of the statue in the middle of Piccadilly Circus?
It's called Eros.
What's the main activity that takes place in the area known as the City?
Banking and financial activities.
Where is the Chamber of Horrors located?
In Madden Tussauds.
What's the name of Ken Livingstone's office building?
The Gherkin.
I need the official name. Oh, you don't...
City Hall.
What did you just say? You didn't say City Hall straight away, did you?
I did say City Hall.
I think there's a Freudian slip there. Melanie, it's the wrong answer, I'm afraid. Well, I thought this would go straight away. It turns out we've got a bit more. 0870 90 90 973. You need to get all six questions right. I think we're going to do it. So far, Ian's in the lead with 4. Can you beat him? The question we're stuck on, what's the name of Ken Livingstone's office building? The official name. We don't want the nickname, we need the official name. You can still call in as well about other stuff, being cryogenically frozen, being dressed entirely in white. No one's called in to admit to that. And the people are they giving away the Sun in Oxford Street, or are they selling the Sun? 0870 90 90 973. More of your calls after this. It's the travel news now with Amanda Redmond.
Thanks, Ian. Well, looking at delays still, I'm afraid, to the south of London Bridge because it's shut northbound with a burst water main, and it is likely to remain shut all weekend, I'm afraid. So that diversion via Southwark Bridge and all that is likely to close later on this evening as well because of the Thames Festival. So after that, all traffic will be diverted via Blackfriars Bridge, so watch out for lots of extra traffic there. There are delays on Borough High Street, Southwark Street and Tooley Street, as well as Tower Bridge still. And on the M25 Surrey stretch, traffic slow on the anti-clockwise carriageway from junction 7 at the M23 towards junction 6 at Godstone with a crash on the hard shoulder, and a car fire is closing Bayswater Road to westbound traffic at Lancaster Gate, so watch out for those delays. Whilst in Sudbury, Harrow Road is closed off both ways between Watford Road and Elms Lane with a burst water main, and on the tubes there are delays on the Bakerloo line following a signal failure earlier at Elephant and Castle. LBC 97.3 travel, your next update is in half an hour.
There follows an adaptation of the Lewis Carroll poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter. The time has come, the Paul Ross said, to talk of many things, of Germans, grannies, name that tag, and pesky tube strikings. I'm with you Saturdays, 7 till 10, but on weekdays too. I start at 4, the tea time shift, and end at 2:30. Actually, it's 4 to 6:30 Monday to Thursdays, but you try rhyming that, you mug.
Get more of Paul. You know you want him.
LBC 97.3.
Paul Ross, he goes from bad to verse. Oh, beautiful.
The Volkswagen Fox from just £6,602 RRP. Comes with no scratches, no weird smells badly masked by air freshener, and no chewing gum stuck under the seats. Other features include no dog hair, no dubious stains on the interior, and absolutely no suspicion that it's two different cars welded together. All as standard. The Fox for just £6,602 RRP. A brand new Volkswagen for the price of a second-hand car. Visit volkswagen.co.uk or call 0800 333 666. Finance offers available, terms and conditions apply.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, controversy in the London quiz. Is she engaged? Can we get hold of her? One of the questions... OK, this is the problem when you do quizzes. One of the questions we have is... Oh, no, I can't get the questions back now. What's the name of Ken Livingstone's office building called? Now, OK, we'll get her back. We'll get her back. Melanie, if you're listening, we need to talk to you, because you said City Hall. Well, technically it's not called City Hall, but it is... It is. What I'm trying to say is we muffed up there, ladies and gentlemen, and it has two names, and one of them could potentially be City Hall, so we have to wait for Melanie to come back now. We're having a little bit of trouble getting hold of her. We will get her back. We could be on Channel 4 News all over again, couldn't we? Very exciting. Shall I can we speak to Philip while we're... Oh, there's Melanie. There's Melanie. Can you get that call, Chris? Line 1. Melanie?
Hello. Sorry about that.
No, you have nothing to apologise. It was me being a fool. We can accept City Hall.
Oh, excellent.
Which means you have one more question to get right.
Oh, goodness, okay.
In the London quiz. What number do I live at? I'm joking, of course. I wouldn't expect you to know. If you did, I'd be freaked out. OK, the last question is, what is the real name of the tower... The answer we had was County Hall, by the way, but City Hall is acceptable. What is the real name of the tower commonly known as Big Ben? What is the real name of the tower that is commonly referred to as Big Ben? This is a tough one.
Could it be the clock tower? Sorry.
Oh, Melanie, thank you for coming back. You've got that wrong. You are in the lead at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. There we go. That's okay. That's good. So, Melanie, let me just jot this down. So I want to make sure this is. You've got to be so careful with quizzes these days. Melanie's in the lead with number 5. Okay. Ken.
Hello there.
Can you turn your radio off, sir?
Yes.
Okay, let's go through these questions quickly. What tube line is Pinner Station on?
Metropolitan.
What's the popular name of the statue in the middle of Piccadilly Circus?
Eros.
What's the main activity that takes place in the area known as the City?
Banking and finance.
Where is the Chamber of Horrors?
Madame Tussauds.
What? Oh, you nearly stumbled there. What's the name of Ken Livingstone's office?
It's definitely County Hall.
It's County Hall. City Hall. We looked it up, and it is referred to as City Hall at some place. Why we accept it, but yes, County Hall is the proper name. The final question, Mark, Ken, sorry, to win the BioShock for the Xbox 360. What?
I think I know this.
You do, or you don't?
Mm.
What's the real name of the tower commonly known as Big Ben?
Well, Westminster Tower.
Oh, Ken!
Wrong.
You are absolutely wrong, I'm afraid. Mark!
Hello, Ian.
Let's rattle through these.
Right, go on in.
Pinner Station, what tube line?
Metropolitan.
Piccadilly Circus, what's the statue?
Eros.
Paul Ross, did you say?
No, Eros.
Paul Ross. What's the main activity that takes place in the City?
Finance and banking.
Where's the Chamber of Horrors?
Madame Tussauds.
Ken Livingstone's office?
Either City Hall or County Hall.
What's the real name of the tower commonly known as Big Ben?
St Stephen's Tower.
St Stephen's Tower, you've got it right, Mark!
Oh, you're joking.
Fantastic, you've won, mate. Well done.
Oh, fantastic.
Well done, good. Have you got an Xbox 360?
I haven't, but I think one will be getting bought very soon.
Good lad. Mark, listen, stay on the line, speak to Chris here, we'll take your details and we'll send the game. Once again, that's thanks to softuk.com, who gave us that, and you can go there for all of your gaming needs. Well done, we did it. It does get very tense when you're dealing with quizzes because of the whole phone line scandals and all of the nonsense that's going on, and you've got to make sure, as you should do, as should be basic industry standard, as you should make sure that everything is absolutely spot on, and that's what we try and do here at LBC 97.3, the Iain Lee's Good Evening, where the fun never ends. I'm trying it out as a slogan. I don't know if it sounds convincing or not, or I think it's kind of convincing. We'll stick with it. Anyway, back to the show. 0870 90 90 973. It's a quick recap of where we are. We've talked about the Northern Rock, and if that affects you, I'd be keen to know, are you worried about it? Are you panicking? Or are you think it's going to be okay? 0870 90 90 973. No one has called in, and this does surprise me, because I know you're a fashionable lot. No one has called in yet to say, yes, Ian, I would quite happily walk around this great city of ours dressed entirely in white. Oh, hang on. Have we... Yagi?
Hi, Ian.
Would you'd walk around dressed entirely in white?
Me not all white. It's my hairdresser.
Oh, really?
But still very interesting. And I added you on Facebook today, and you accepted me. Was that really you? Because I messaged you as well.
Were you the one? Are you the one in the bikini?
Yeah, that's me. Yama, yeah.
Yes, that really is me.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yes.
I just want to know, because I don't believe you.
No,
Even though you've got like 500 friends.
I've got 500 friends on the Facebook, and on MySpace, of course, myspace.com/The Real Iain Lee. Good idea to go there, and that way you can keep in touch with everything that's going on.
Imagine yourself. They're not really your friends, because you don't know them.
No, one day we're all going to meet and hang out and have tea and cake.
Such a lie.
So your
My friend's sitting here, and the answer to the question about Big Ben, she said Big Benjamin. Is that the real name?
Big Benjamin?
I thought that's
Oh, no. Your friend is a fool, Yagi.
No, she's not.
Well, that's a foolish answer, isn't it? So,
I thought it was really funny.
Well,
isn't it the best funny answer?
It's the second best funny answer. The first best funny answer, I can't tell you what it is, but it's a good funny answer, Yagi. Listen, thank you for that.
Okay.
Bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973. So no, we go back to what I just said. No one has called in to say, yes, Ian, I would walk around this great city of ours dressed entirely in white. If you would, 0870 90 90 973. These people selling the sun. Well, this is what I need to work out. Are they selling the sun, or are they giving the sun away in Oxford Street? They're all over the place, lined up with these annoying free London papers. And it just, how do we avoid them? If you've got any tips on how to avoid them, then give us a call, 0870 973. Now, and here's something I do want to discuss with you. Does this happen anymore? I've been watching a lot of rubbish films from America that were made in the 1980s. It's something that I do. And in all of these films, whenever there's a restaurant scene, the man says, I'll order for the lady. And he orders for the lady. And he says, right, I think, she'll have lobster. And what does that happen anymore? Do men ever actually order the food for the lady? I would find that a weird thing to do that. To say, yeah, I know what she wants. I can tell how hungry she is. And I can tell what her taste buds are desiring. If you've ever done that, 0870 90 90 973. And also, if you're a lady, would you want a bloke to do that for you? Would that be romantic, or would it be really freaky? Good time to call now. If the phone rings, we are quite busy, so keep hanging on, and Chris will get to you eventually, I promise.
Time is like money. Any that you have spare is very precious. So why don't you invest some of your time in something really worthwhile? GlaxoSmithKline are looking for volunteers to take part in medical trials at Clinical Imaging Centre London. In return, you'll be compensated for your time and inconvenience. So if you're healthy and aged between 18 and 60, then call us today on 0800 707 6068. That's 0800 707 6068. And find out how you can invest in the future. Help us help people to do more, feel better, live longer.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Yeah, 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Also, the London Festival, it's happening tomorrow. Okay. The London Festival is happening tomorrow. And I want to go along because there's this Japanese band playing, whose name I can't say. So I can't tell you who that. And they're coming in on Sunday, which is slightly frustrating. Hopefully I'll be able to learn to say their name by then. What's going to be happening down there? Anything? I know it's being mentioned on the travel quite a lot and on the news a little bit. But I've looked at the website and it's a little bit confusing. And why is there such a strong Oriental feel to it? As you know, I'm a big fan of the Orient and maybe going to Japan a little bit sooner than I was expecting, which would be great. But why is there an Oriental connection? 0870 90 90 973. And if you're planning on going, or if you've been before, I've never been before, I don't really know what it is, then please give us a call and let us know. Bill is in Southwark. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Ian. Yeah, about the Sun. They sell it at London Bridge over lunchtime. It's definitely been sold.
Oh, so they're not
giving it away.
I nearly took one the other day when the young lad thrust one at me.
Yeah, and they're selling them lunchtime when I had my lunch out at London. But who's going to buy a morning paper lunchtime? It's a bit silly, isn't it?
It does seem a little bit silly. Yeah, have they been doing that for a long time?
Well, no, for about a week. Now, when I went in the newsagents this morning...
Yeah.
I noticed the Sun is on sale there for 20 pence, so I can only assume that it's newsagents who have a surplus and they're trying it out, selling them in the street. But that's purely an educated guess, but it sounds about right, doesn't it?
It does sound about right. Hey, Bill, are you going to go to this Thames Festival thing tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, I live next door to it. I live in Southwark Street. It backs up onto
So where exactly is it going to be and what's happening there?
From about Southwark Cathedral,
right?
There's a pub called the Anchor.
Yeah.
And it starts there, and Southwark Bridge itself is going to be blocked off, and they're going to have like a French festival.
A French festival?
Yeah, French stalls, and apparently they're going to have an accordionist and a small French pop group.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is tonight there's going to be a big festival. I can't remember the exact details, but all along, the main part would be Gabriel's Wall.
Yeah.
And outside the Tate Modern.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very good. The only thing is it coincides with another event in London, which is the London Open weekend, when you can go and visit buildings you can't normally go to.
I always forget that's on. That's a brilliant thing, London Open weekend.
Yeah, the trouble with that, there's always queues.
You can never get in anywhere. That's the problem. Although saying that, a couple of years ago, I did go to the television studios at Alexandra Palace, which was fantastic, and the old theatre. But yeah, all these places, the best places. Like I went to look at City Hall, But you couldn't get in there. There was a queue that was about a mile long.
By the way, the mix-up between City Hall and County Hall, County Hall is the old building.
It is the old one, isn't it? Of course it is, and City Hall's the new one.
And Ken Livingstone's not there now. He's definitely a City Hall, which is near the Tower of London.
He's definitely
there. It's the south bank of the Tower.
Bill, listen, thank you very much for that, mate.
mate.
Take care. Have a good weekend. Well, I've just remembered, of course, someone reminded me that the Muswell Hill Festival is happening this Sunday, where I believe every year Tony Hadley gets up and sings Gold. He lives there. Tony Hadley lives near me, yeah. Anyway, do give us a call. It'd be nice to talk to you. 0870 90 90 973. We'll speak to you, hopefully, after the news.
On 97.3
DAB
and online.
London's biggest conversation. LBC.
At 9, Chris Langham weeps in court as he's jailed for downloading child porn. Northern Rock's customers are deserting and England are struggling in the rugby. It's 9 o'clock. I'm John Ironmonger. Actor Chris Langham's been jailed for 10 months for downloading child pornography. The award-winning star wept during sentencing. He'll serve 5 months. Outside Maidstone Crown Court, Mr Langham's solicitor Angus McBride read a statement on his behalf.
The court has confirmed today that I'm not a paedophile. It has reached this conclusion having considered reports by social services, the probation service, a senior consultant psychiatrist, an expert on sex offences who has worked with offenders for 30 years.
Branches of Northern Rock across London are staying open late tonight to deal with hundreds of customers spooked by the bank seeking emergency support from the Bank of England. Despite assurances that there's no need to panic, many are withdrawing all their savings, the lenders blaming the summer's global credit crisis for a short-term liquidity problem. These customers in Kingston and Surrey aren't convinced by the reassurances.
I want to get my money out. I don't want to close my account. I just want to get most of my savings out. And I will be putting my money back in the Northern Rock when this is all blown over.
It's hard-earned cash.
But they have told you not to panic, so...
Well, I'm afraid the British people, we're like that, you see. We worry.
A police forensic expert from Harrogate is facing jail after posing as a teenager and trying to get a 12-year-old to dress him in her underwear and spank him. Southwark Crown Court heard 37-year-old Paul Rogers bombarded his victim with chat room suggestions before meeting her on some park swings. But the child he was trying to seduce was really a newspaper reporter, secretly taping every word he said. The fight to have the killer of Philip Lawrence from Ealing deported after his jail sentence is stepping up a level. Home Secretary Jack Smith will challenge the Asylum and Immigration Tribunal's ruling in the High Court. Liako Chinjamu stabbed the head teacher to death outside a school in Maida Vale 12 years ago. O.J. Simpson says he took sports memorabilia that belonged to him from a Las Vegas casino hotel but did not break into the room. The actor and former American football star has been questioned in connection with the incident at the Palace Station Casino on Thursday night. He's told the Associated Press that no weapons were used. London Bridge is set to stay closed northbound until at least Monday lunchtime after a burst water main. It happened around 9 o'clock this morning. Thames Water tell us a large amount of concrete's needed to fix the problem, and that will take a while to dry. If you're heading to this weekend's Thames Festival, you may want to leave some extra time to get there. And in sports, England are struggling against South Africa at the Rugby World Cup. At half-time, Brian Ashton's side haven't troubled the scoreboard in Paris and trailing 20-0. If you're away from your radio and want to stay in touch with the latest news, weather and travel, go to lbc.co.uk and click on News on the Go to find out how to do that. LBC Travel. London Bridge is still shut, as you've been hearing, to northbound traffic. That's because of a burst water main. And London's weather staying dry overnight with lows of 7 degrees Celsius. And then a bright start to the day tomorrow with some cloud moving in and building up during the afternoon. You're listening to LBC. It's 9:03.
Waiting is pointless. It's biting your nails, tapping your foot. No one wants to be waiting's mate. It's a bus stop in the rain, standing 10 deep at the bar. It's a delivery slot between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Waiting for the latest mobile phone isn't Vodafone's idea of fun. Pick up the exclusive Nokia 6110 Navigator with GPS in store before anyone else, and even walk out talking on it fully charged. Waiting? What a waste. Vodafone. Make the most of now.
Ding dong, I say. Looking for a new pad to buy or rent in the capital? Then open the right doors with rightmove.co.uk, the UK's #1 property website. From renting a studio to buying a muse house, they add a rather impressive 2,500 properties every day. So, if you're hunting for a home to buy or rent in London, open the right doors at rightmove.co.uk for properties with a little more ding dong.
BBC 97.3.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Good evening.
OK, give us a call, 0870 90 90 973. We'll have a recap in a minute. Well, let's have a recap now of all the stuff that we've mentioned so far this evening. We had an email, actually, from... we're talking about ordering food for your lady. It seems an odd concept, yet apparently, according to 80s films, it happened all the time. Matt has emailed in... Matt and Ruth. Iain, we know of someone's wife... we know of someone whose wife... always orders for him at restaurants. What? The other way around? Very strange, isn't it? That seems like an odd thing to do. Have you ever ordered food in a restaurant for your partner? How can you tell how hungry they are and what they fancy? Because when I go to a restaurant, I fancy... to be honest, the choice generally for me being a vegetarian is normally quite limited, unless I go to the excellent Mildred's in Lexington Street, where I went yesterday for lunch. It's the best vegetarian restaurant in the world. I urge you all to... Can we get sponsored by Mildred's, do you think? Would that be possible? It's the best vegetarian food I have ever had. 0870 90 90 973 is the phone number if you can tell us about ordering food, or if you can tell us any more good vegetarian restaurants, or just any good restaurants in London. That would be kind of nice. Can you recommend places for us to go and eat? Would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's do that, shall we? Here's an idea. I just thought of this. Let's try and compile a list of the best places to eat in London. Let's do that, because it will be nice. 0870 90 90 973. I have my pen, I have my paper. Have you found somewhere in London that's really nice to eat, that does good food, and would be a good place for us to go? Oh, hang on, I don't know, press the wrong button on the thing there, so I was trying to get an email up. 0870 90 90 973. Also, we're talking about being dressed entirely in white. After I saw a guy doing it the other day, it was the weirdest thing. What a brave statement to make. Chris, would you ever dress entirely in white?
Maybe for a fancy dress party, but that's it, I think.
You know we've been invited to Rav's birthday party.
Rav from Crime Watch?
Rav Wilding from Crime Watch. Not you, Alex, sorry.
Don't want to go anyway.
Well, it's funny, because I remember you saying that you wanted to go to it, if Rav ever threw a party, that you'd want to go to it.
Only if I could go on my own, and he was the only person there.
Well, that's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, isn't it?
0870 90 90 973. Well, here's... this is another thing, actually. We have been invited to Rav's birthday party from Crime Watch. It's fancy dress. Not a fan of the fancy dress, but it's superheroes. It's heroes, I think. So not necessarily superheroes. Any ideas of who I could go as? Who should I go to dressed as, to Rav's birthday party, fancy dress? 0870 90 90 973. Telephone number. Also compiling a list of good restaurants and good places to eat in London. Maybe a little out-of-the-way place that not many people know of, that would be really good for us to go. Oh, Jim's in Whitechapel with a suggestion for a restaurant. Hello, Jim. Oh, I've got the... It's my fault, Jim. I had the fader down. You're there now.
How you going? All right?
I'm going all right, yes. I've got a little bit of the giggles for some reason. I don't quite know why, but I'm going all right.
Right, a couple of months ago, I took my wife to a restaurant in Wapping.
Yes.
Called Bordello's.
Bordello's?
And it was absolutely lovely.
What kind of food were they doing there, Jim?
Oh, It's like you can have a pizza. It's Italian. It's so lovely. I mean, I'm sure it was I had the veal, mushroom sauce. Everything about it was lovely. The service was fantastic.
Well, it does make a difference, doesn't it? When you get some place you go to and the service is flipping lousy.
See, I always say,
yes,
I don't mind paying.
No.
I don't like getting ripped off.
No.
And there's
What?
the worst thing is someone can say to you, go to this restaurant, yeah, and you go there and you think, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the service is lazy. You get a waiter who's got put a strop on.
Yeah.
Or he's, you'd rather be somewhere else, or
Yeah.
you want to order a drink and you got to hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Well, Delos, because we didn't book up, we just turned up, and then they just said to us, just go to the bar and we'll call you when there's a table.
Fantastic.
Really friendly.
Yeah.
And I don't think we was waiting more than 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, well, you can't. Jim, would you ever order for your lady wife?
Never.
No.
I mean, like sometimes if we go to a different restaurant,
Yeah.
she might say to me, "What are you going to have?"
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
you look at the menu and if you're not sure,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you sort of say, "Well, I'm going to have this," and she might go, "Oh, well, I'll have the same as you." then."
Yes, yes.
So that's the only time I would go. If she said I'll have the same as you, then when I was ordering the meal, I'd go, "Well, I want this," and so does she. But 9 times out of 10. She chooses her own meal and I choose mine.
Good lad. Jim, listen, thanks very much for that.
Have a nice weekend, Ian.
Cheers, mate. Take care. There we go. 0870 90 90 93. We're compiling a list of the best places to eat in London. Now, though... Oh, now listen to this. This is fantastic. You could win a 7-night holiday for 2 to Mombasa in Kenya. What a great word, Mombasa. Mombasa. Courtesy of the visacompany.com. The safe and cost-effective way of getting travel visas. It can be difficult getting travel visas these days, and the visacompany.com really make it easy, and it's also very reliable and trustworthy, so you know you're going to get a good service from them. Now, this is taking place every day. Well, I'm assuming, Chris, is it this week or next week? Because it's Friday now.
Well, it'll be next week.
It's all next week, is it? Okay, let's get that clear. So every day next week, with Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Now, did you know in LA it's illegal to lick a toad? Yeah, that's right. You can test your knowledge of strange overseas laws every morning with Nick from 7 o'clock. The travel industry have been using for years, now you can too. TheVisaCompany.com and London's LBC 97.3. For more details, log on to lbc.co.uk and you can check out your visa requirements for your holiday at the LBC website as well. I really do recommend, there's nothing worse than getting to a foreign country and realising you haven't got the right visa to work there. Or whatever. Susan is in Edgware. Hello, Susan.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
You're on the theme of restaurants. Well,
Yeah, good.
I'm vegetarian as well, so likewise.
It can be... Have you been to Mildred's in Lexington Street?
No, I'm just going to look it up now because I sort of thought I knew quite a few.
It's very small, it's kind of cramped, but it has got the best food I've ever had. It's just delicious.
Oh, that sounds... It's not specifically vegetarian, but
No,
it's vegetarian dishes. Though.
It's a vegetarian restaurant.
Oh, it is actually...
It's vegetarian, and there's a little bit of vegan. It's all vegetarian themed. Yes, there's no meat in there at all.
Oh, right.
And it's great.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
And I was going to suggest to you, I don't know if you're then aware of Indian vegetarian, Southern Indian vegetarian, which serve dosas.
Oh, now, a dosa, that's the thing in the big sort of...
pancake.
I had my very first dosa 2 weeks ago.
Oh, good.
It was...
It's lovely.
I went to visit a friend in Bristol. We went to a Southern Indian restaurant, which I don't normally go to, and he was ordering dosas. And I said, "What's a dosa?" He said, "Get one.
Yes,
you will love it."
Love it, yeah.
And it was fantastic.
It's
big
so
thing.
light. And the amazing thing is, the ingredients are it's ground rice, and so it's even suited the pancake ingredients, ground rice and ground lentils, I think. But it's suitable even for vegans, and you have the potato filling. But it's just a wonderful. A wonderful dish for a vegetarian.
Fantastic.
And then there's others you probably didn't have. There's other items there on the menu like idlis, which are steamed. I think it's out of rice flour again, and you have it with like lentils. But it's wonderful food. It's different than you know an Indian restaurant that would serve meat and chicken as well. The Southern Indian is excellent food, very very nice.
Susan, listen, thank you very much for that.
Can I just ask you, because I've seen on you, are you doing something about Brian Wilson today?
We did it yesterday.
Oh God, I missed it. 'Cause I'm looking on the internet.
We did it yesterday. I met Brian.
I went to the concert on Monday.
Was it good?
Brilliant.
I'm a big Brian Wilson fan. I have
So
been
am I.
since I was 15, and I met him on Tuesday.
Oh, you met him? He came to the studio?
No, I went to the hotel where he was staying, and I got 5 minutes with him, and Chris and I interviewed him. Do you know what? We may play it on Sunday night at some point.
Play it again. Is it on to download as well then?
Is it? I don't think it's in the. Is it in the podcast? Apparently, it's in the podcast. But I tell you what we'll do. This is my promise because it was such a good interview. Sunday evening, sometime after 10, we'll play it again.
On Sunday evening.
On Sunday evening, we'll probably play about 10:35.
Okay. Do you play any? Have you played any songs as well?
We play a little snatch. We play a couple of obscure ones. A little snatch of This Whole World from Sunflower and Marcella, which he get.
Marcella's beautiful.
It's great. It's one of the best songs, and we sang it together.
Yeah. Oh, you sang.
Oh, I was singing with Brian Wilson, Susan.
He's ace, that guy. I mean, it's just he's brilliant.
He's a legend.
We'll appreciate what he's done, and he's around. It's just
Wiley, Susan, I've got to go, but thank you very much. Listen, it's Sunday at 10:35. That's my promise. We'll replay the Brian Wilson interview because it seems a shame to play it only once. Oh, I'm a little bit late for this. It's the travel news now with Amanda.
Thanks very much, Ian. Well, still massive problems, I'm afraid. If you need to cross the river this weekend, London Bridge is shut to northbound traffic with upburst water main. At the moment, you can still use Southwark Bridge, but that's going to shut very soon, actually, around 10 o'clock this evening for the Thames Festival, which is taking place all this weekend. So after that, all the diversions will be via Blackfriars Bridge. So obviously, a lot of pressure on Blackfriars Bridge over this weekend. So do expect lots of extra traffic there, and especially on Borough High Street, Southwark Street and Sawley Street as well, and also on Tower Bridge too, of course. Bayswater Road is shut to westbound traffic at the moment at Lancaster Gate, just near the tube station there. That's because there was a car on fire earlier. And to the north of town in Tottenham, the traffic lights aren't working on the roundway at the junction with Lordship Lane, so that's going to cause delays. Whilst in Sudbury, Harrow Road is still shut both ways with a burst water main between Watford Road and Elms Lane. But some good news now for the M25. All lanes are now open on the anti-clockwise carriageway between junction 7 at the M23 and junction 6 at Godstone. That crash has cleared away. On the tubes, things are running well, and also no reports of any problems at the moment on the overground trains at LBC 97.3 travel. Your next update is in half an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, this train is delayed. We don't know why or for how long.
Next time you get delayed, remember you can check out the latest travel news on your mobile phone. Just call 0901 723 6666 and choose Travel. Travel.
And the M25 in Essex has...
You can also select to hear news and weather updates too.
Store 0901 723 6666 into your mobile now and stay in touch with LBC wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
Calls cost 35 pence per minute from a BT landline. Other networks and mobile rates may vary.
News, weather and travel on the go from LBC.
Look around you. How many of the people around you right now could become ill at any time? At GlaxoSmithKline, we undertake medical research to develop new drugs for today and tomorrow. We just need you to help us with our clinical trials at our research unit at Clinical Imaging Centre London. You'll be paid for your time and commitment if you take part in a study. So, if you're healthy and aged between 18 and 60, then call us today on 0800 707 6068. That's 0800 707 6068. Help us help people to do more, feel better, live longer.
LBC 97.3.
Ian Lee's Good Evening.
Good evening. So, what are we having the most success with so far? I'll tell you. Good places to eat in London. Where's a good place to eat? And maybe a place that's not many people know of, or it's a little bit of a secret. There's talk of the Ivy on the news earlier on. I've been to the Ivy. It's all right. It's all right. That's as good as it can be. And also they say, it's 2 or 3 months booked up. It is. But if you were to phone up sort of tomorrow and say, have you got any spaces tonight? They will have spaces. Because they've always got cancellations. You can always get a space at the Ivy. You guys got a table tonight for 2? Yes, sir, we have. They will have, because people cancel all the time there. So it's there's no great shakes about getting into the Ivy. It's nothing special. It's all right. I think when I was there you just go there to see famous people. I was there many years ago being courted by the head of a production company and the head of Channel 4. How those days have changed. 0870 90 90 973. Where's a good place to eat in London? Something a little bit special. If for the purely self-indulgent viewpoint, if it's a good vegetarian or does good vegetarian food, then give us a call about that. We're still talking about Northern Rock as well and how that affects you. Does it affect you? What should be done? What do you think should be done? 0870 90 90 973. But the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have been invited to the birthday party of Rav Wilding. Yes, that's right, Rav Wilding, the host, one of the hosts of Crime Watch UK, Britain's premier crime-fighting and crime-solving television show that is on BBC One and is thoroughly good. Now, Rav has invited me. It's a fancy dress party. I think the theme is heroes. Not necessarily a television show heroes, but heroes. That's quite a broad subject. It could be, anything. I don't know what to go as. If indeed I go. I'm not a fan of the fancy dress. I always try and avoid it. It's not really my cup of tea. But when Rav asks you to go, you kind of have to go, don't you? You don't really have much say. So, who do you think I should go as? 0870 90 90 973. Who do you think I should go as, Janet?
I think you should go as the Penguin out of Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hang on, I always get him confused with the was that him?
Yeah, he was the nasty. He's the what do you call it? The nasty one.
They're all of the supervillains in Batman were quite nasty.
He's the villain. That's it. He's the villain.
He's the villain. Oh, you couldn't remember the word villain. Oh, bless you, Janet. That's very sweet. Yes, he was. He's the one that had the funny walk and now I can't remember the word for it's not parachute, umbrella.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
The cigarette holder.
That's it.
Do anyone still use cigarette holders?
I don't know, but everyone will go as the obvious. But I don't think anyone else would go as Mr. Penguin.
Oh, well, Janet, I will certainly put it on the list I'm compiling.
Right. Okay.
Do you go to fancy dress parties?
No, not now. No, I haven't been one for ages, actually.
What was the last one you went to?
It was a Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I went as a witch.
As a witch, witches. I think I can say this. Witches are quite attractive.
Yeah, I suppose they are really.
There's
yeah.
something quite sexy about a witch.
Really? I didn't have to do much.
I see. You're an ugly woman. Well, Janet, listen. Thank you for that suggestion.
Right, okay.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you very much. 0870 90 90 973. Now's a very good time to call. The phones are a little bit quiet there, and I'm not quite sure why. We put out some excellent topics, so... but do give us a call. 0870 90 90 973. I keep nodding my head, Chris, but of course every decision is entirely yours. Neil!
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Neil.
You were talking about vegetarian restaurants. You said that you thought Mildred's was the best in the world. I disagree with you. I think Terre à Terre in Brighton is the best vegetarian in the world.
Hang on a second. You've got a better vegetarian restaurant than Mildred's?
Oh, yeah.
Terre à Terre?
Terre à Terre.
How are you spelling that?
Terre.
Yes. Oh, OK, yes.
As in earth to earth.
Earth to earth. And that's in Brighton, is it?
Yeah, in Ship Street.
What makes it so good?
Well, I mean, I've been a vegetarian for 23 years, but probably like yourself, I'm not what I call a brown rice and lentil vegetarian.
No.
I like sort of dairy, I like cheese,
Yeah.
I like sort of rich things.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of vegetarian restaurants tend to be very much, if they sell themselves as a vegetarian, it's the brown rice and lentils type.
There is a lot of that, and the healthy side. I don't care about the healthy stuff.
No, exactly.
I don't mind eating unhealthily. I just don't want meat in there. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the same with me. And so Terre à Terre it is purely vegetarian and vegan as well.
Yeah.
But it's one of these places where, unfortunately, you need to book at least 2 weeks in advance.
Oh, okay.
Because it's always fully booked. Apparently, I've never seen him there, but apparently Paul McCartney goes and all these sort of famous vegetarians. But the food is sort of top-notch, what I would call sort of haute cuisine vegetarian. So rather than all the brown rice stuff, it's imaginatively presented, they give it sort of wacky names, and plus it has a fantastic selection of vegan wines as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if you drink.
I don't drink anymore, but yes, it's good to know because you do get people get the impression that vegetarian restaurants are very boring, as you say, that whole brown rice and lentils, man. And it's good to know that they're not, and and a lot of them are rubbish. I remember going to Cranks years ago when there was one near Carnaby Street.
That's right.
And being really disappointed by it.
I know.
The food was really dry, and I mean this was like I don't know 8-10 years ago. The food was really dry, and it didn't seem to have any character to it.
No, I would agree, actually. And, another one in London is the one you haven't mentioned, I don't think, this evening. The Gate in Hammersmith.
I don't know it.
Yeah, that's another famous vegetarian restaurant. It's just around the back of... What's the big theatre? Is it the Apollo?
In the Hammersmith Apollo, yeah.
Yeah. It's around the back there. It's called The Gate. And again, it is purely vegetarian, and often you have to book quite a way in advance for that one as well.
Oh, I shall definitely check that out, Neil. Thank you for that.
And I would also just say about the Ivy, I would agree with you on that one as well. I remember going to the Ivy a number of times. You say, well, I'm vegetarian, what have you got for me to eat? And you're offered scrambled egg or an omelette or a mushroom risotto.
Oh, no, I had mushroom risotto.
Yeah.
The lazy vegetarian option is the mushroom risotto.
Well, I haven't been back since I asked for a side dish of spinach, and when I got the spinach, I was eating it, I bit into a small screw.
Really?
And I complained to the waiter, and then he brought over the sort of restaurant manager, who then went off into the kitchen and said, we've checked our pans, and we can't see that anything's missing.
So you must have put...
that I must have put it in
put
there.
the screw in there yourself?
Yeah.
It's funny, when I was there, the person I was with was eating his green salad, and there was a tiny spider in there.
You don't expect it when you're paying for, the what people think is the quality of the Ivy, but I think it's nothing special.
I think
Fish and chips, shepherd's pie,
It's purely based on its reputation. I mean, it's good food, but it's not that good food,
No, that's right.
Neil, thank you for that, mate. Good stuff there.
No problem.
Cheers,
All
there we go. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Here till 10 o'clock. So, and then it's the weekend. I'm not in tomorrow. Sunday night, doing Triple M, of course. I say, of course. It's going to be slightly different on Sunday night. Lots of exciting changes happening, including we're going to replay the Brian Wilson interview that I did, that we played out yesterday. And in the last hour of the show, we've got a Japanese band coming in. No, I don't know if they're going to play or not. I hope they are, but if they don't, that's fine. That's cool. We'll just have a chat with them, and we'll try and ask them. Did you go to the post office yesterday? Which I can't. Oh. Watashi ga... No, that guy, it's not ga. Watashi no... I don't know what it is. Yubin Kyoko is worth a post office, though. So we'll be doing that. So you've got 35 minutes to come on this show and join in the laugh right roller coaster ride of fun that we're having here. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Marcus!
Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Right?
I'm excellent, Marcus. What can I do for you?
Well, your fancy dress that you're going to, I think you should dress up as Lurch from Adam's Family.
Why? What's...
Not being funny, but I don't think you'd need much effort to go as Lurch.
This is what a... You rang. He does that, doesn't he?
You rang, yes.
You rang. Are you saying I look like Lurch?
No, I didn't say you looked like Lurch, but you certainly wouldn't need much effort to get there.
OK. I could possibly go as Marlon Dingle from Emmerdale. That's another one. Marcus, are you a fan of the fancy dress parties?
Not at all. Unlike you, it's not my tea of cup, and I think I've only been to one fancy dress.
Did you just say tea of cup?
Yeah, why say cup of tea? I'm pulling a Paul Ross.
Oh, you're pulling a Paul Ross. I wish we could all pull a Paul Ross. Wouldn't that be nice? Marcus, listen, thanks very much for your call, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, fella. Bye-bye. Let's go to Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Ian.
Yes.
I've got an idea for your fancy dress.
Let's have it.
Monkey.
Oh, the great sage, equal of heaven.
Mm.
Oh, a little bit of monkey magic with
with the staff.
The staff, the little headband, the pink cloud, the brown tunic.
Yeah, little sideburns. That would look good, wouldn't it?
That's not a bad suggestion, actually.
I'd love to see a picture, mate.
Well, Andrew, if I do go, I'll take one.
You better do it, mate.
I will do. Thank you for that. There's an idea. I'm not really a fan of the fancy... Yeah, well, here's a question. If you're going to a fancy dress party in London, do you have to go in fancy dress? Are you allowed to not wear fancy dress? Or is that frowned upon? 0870 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Last 30 minutes of the show, so now's a very, very good time to give us a call. 0870 90 90 973.
At 35,000 feet, you may have a drink problem. The reason for this is some wines don't travel too well. So something that tastes delicious in a bar might not taste quite so good on a plane. Fortunately, at British Airways, we employ a wine expert by the name of Peter Nixon. He has the enviable job of travelling the world's vineyards in search of fine wines. Of every 5,000 he tastes, he only ever picks around 200, which may seem like a lot of trouble to go to. But we don't see the point of serving you complimentary wine unless you feel like complimenting us when you taste it. Upgrade to British Airways.
On 97.3
DAB
and online.
London's biggest conversation. LBC.
It's 9:30. I'm Andy Hughes. Actor Chris Langham's been jailed for 10 months for downloading child pornography. The award-winning star wept during sentencing. He'll serve 5 months. Portuguese police seem to have taken a step back from charging Madeleine McCann's parents. A senior officer say they have nothing concrete to implicate Kate and Jerry in the 4-year-old's disappearance. Branches of Northern Rock are staying open late tonight to deal with hundreds of customers spooked by the bank seeking emergency support from the Bank of England. Despite assurances that there's no need to panic, many are withdrawing all their savings. 5 men have been sentenced to a total of 33 years in jail for controlling prostitution for gain. It follows a series of raids on 8 separate homes and brothels across London. And the score in the rugby so far tonight, England 0, South Africa 26. Let's have a look at London's top travel story for this hour. London Bridge is shut to northbound traffic because of a burst water main, and Southwark Bridge will soon be closed for the Thames Festival. Turning to London's weather then, tonight staying dry overnight, but lows of around 7 Celsius. Then a bright start to the day tomorrow, but we'll have some cloud moving in by the afternoon. Time now is exactly 9:31.
LBC 97.3.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Give us a call, 0870 90 90 973 is the... Oh, sorry, that's me. I've left the door open there. You can hear Chris. That's how it works, by the way. You phone up, 0870 90 90 973. Chris, my producer, will take your call, ask you what you want to talk about, what you want to say, what your name is. You can give a false name if you want, by the way. You're allowed to do that. I know some people are slightly anxious about giving out their names on the radio. You can give a false name, and then we call you back, and you come on the radio. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. 0870 90 90 973. It's Saya. Come on, Wa.
Hello. Just a second. Sorry, my friend is trying to annoy me. Sit down. Sorry.
Sit down, friend.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm all right, Saya. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
No, I've been drinking with my friend.
Oh, hang on a second.
What? What's wrong with that?
How much have you been drinking?
No, just one glass of Jack Daniel with Coke.
Yeah, with what?
With Coke.
So, are you affected by the Northern Rock?
What?
Is the Northern Rock the situation? How is that affecting you?
Northern Rock.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes. Anyway, Sire, what can I do for you this evening?
Yeah. Have you found a translator?
Oh no! We asked you to come in as a translator for Sunday night. Now the thing is, you what?
No, sorry.
What?
I said I can't.
You said you can't.
No.
You can't do it.
No.
Oh, why not?
I just can't.
You bottled out.
What's that? What does that mean?
Bottled out means you've been a chicken.
Bottled up.
Yes, you bottled out.
No.
Well,
no, I'm not.
Sounds like it. Well, then come and do it then.
No.
Anyway, we found someone else.
Okay.
So it turns out one of the bands that is coming in, one of the guys in there is Japanese and his English is quite good, so he's going to do the translating for us.
Oh, that's good.
So that's very good. But they're going to be on. They're going to be a little bit later as well. They're going to be on at 12 o'clock. So
All right.
it's all going to be a little bit later, but still very, very exciting.
But which band is it?
Well, I can't say then. Have I got an email with their name in it?
How come they're coming to your show?
Chicala Muvta. Cicala.
Cicla.
Cicala.
ALA, yeah.
MVTA. Now, I think that's an Italian name or Latin or something.
Okay.
But they're described as a Japanese gypsy street band.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I've been sent the album, and I shall be listening to the album furiously tomorrow to gen up on it. And also, we're going to have a couple of the Kurikorda Quartet will be on the telephone as well.
Yeah.
So that will be good. Yes. So we're going to be speaking live to Japan on Sunday.
Yeah.
So make
All
sure.
right.
So make sure maybe we can get a message to your family out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we can phone your mum up or something. Let's phone Sire's mum up on Sunday.
She can't speak English.
Well, you can speak to her in Japanese, and we'll pay for it. What time would it be? If it's midnight in the UK.
Yep. In morning.
Hang on, let me try and ask you the question. If it's midnight, I can only do the second half of the question. If it's midnight in the UK, Nihon, no, hang on, Nihon Nanji desu ka?
Hachi. No, yeah, Hachi. It must be. Yeah.
Well, 8 o'clock.
Morning. Yeah.
8 o'clock. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I am chicken.
You bottled out, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So you go and
Okay,
go and drink your Jack Daniels and Coke and have a good evening.
Okay. Yeah. Can I just say something?
Of course you can.
Yeah. I just told my friend. I want to change sex, to be a man, and become gay. So she laughed at me.
So you want to become a man and become a gay man?
Yeah.
Well, Sire, I wish you the very, very best of luck with that, and if you wish hard enough, your dreams can come true.
Okay.
Thanks, Sire.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh, I long for the old days. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We're compiling a list of the best places. I'd love to compile a list of the worst places, but we're not allowed to for legal reasons. A list of the best places to eat in London. If you found somewhere special that's a little bit different, or maybe it's got a bit of character, where the staff just do things a little bit differently, then do give us a call. It'd be really interesting to hear what you have to say, and we'll add it to what I'm calling the Great London Food List. I'm calling it that. You call it what you like. I don't mind. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Not much time left in the show. 23 minutes left. So now's a really good time to pick up the phone and dial us. That'll be, like nice and stuff. Divyesh.
Hello, Ian.
Divyesh, it's good to have you on the show, my friend. What can I do for you?
It's good to be on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Couple of things, Ian. One is there's a nice vegetarian restaurant in South London, in Tooting. I don't know if that's... I know you're in the north.
I'm north, but I've been to Tooting. I can go to Tooting again.
It's called Kasturi, and it's on...
It's called what?
Kasturi.
Pasturi?
Kasturi.
Jastori?
No, K for...
Castori. Okay, Castori, yes.
And it's on Upper Tooting Road. That's quite a nice restaurant.
Oh, okay. I shall,
all vegetarian.
Yeah. You don't get that many vegetarian restaurants. There used to be a great one. In Crouch End called Fiction, and it was really nice. A little bit pricey, but really nice. Really small. You were really cramped in, but I think that's closed down, and there's something else there now, which is a shame.
I think that's because they're very few and far in between. That's what you probably get. You get small ones and very pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some advice.
Okay, Divyesh, you've come to the right man.
I'm taking my girlfriend to the Ivy in October, and she's a vegetarian, and I think, listening to your previous caller, it seems to be a mistake taking a vegetarian to a...
Well, I haven't been there, in all fairness to the Ivy, I haven't been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
But when I went, and the last caller said the only vegetarian options were, I think there was salad, green salad, and mushroom risotto. Now, it possibly may have improved slightly.
Yeah.
But this is quite often the way. with a lot of what I would call swanky restaurants in London, that the vegetarian options are generally just risotto and not much else.
Yeah, she doesn't eat mushroom either, so that'll...
Oh, if I were you, I'd phone them up and check. It may have changed by now, and they may have got a little bit more worldly wise. I would phone them up and check and say, do you have many vegetarian options?
I think I will do that.
It's probably quite wise to do that, yes.
Oh, I'm glad I heard you talking about it today.
Divish, are you a fan of the fancy dress parties?
Not much, no.
It does worry me. I don't want to let down Rav Wilding from the Crime Watch.
Some of the suggestions by callers have been really good. I'll take them up on that.
Okay.
Especially the monkeys one I quite like.
Yeah, that might be the one I'm going to go for. Divish, thank you very much for your call.
Cheers, Ian.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, well, let's have a little recap of where we've been, because we haven't got many calls, let's be honest. What have we done today? We've talked about quite a lot. Let's put these out again and see if any of these float your boat. 9/11? Did we do 9/11? Let me just check my watch. Hang on. Yeah, that's right. 3 days after the event, we've done a 9/11 special, where some people were convinced it was a sham, the way those buildings collapsed. The building was hit by an aeroplane. Those aeroplanes are big. You forget, until you go and stand next to a jet, you forget how big an aeroplane is. It's massive. Of course that would bring a building down. Of course it would. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number, if you agree or disagree. Fancy dress. I've been invited to Rav Wilding's fancy dress birthday party. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Rav. That's the fella. First of all, should I go? Not really a fan of those things. Should I go? It's in London. And what should I go as? Ever dressed entirely in white? No one has actually called in to say they've dressed entirely in white. Northern Rock, the mortgage situation. We've asked about that. Has that affected you? 0870 90 90 973. And also, good restaurants. Where's a really good place to eat in London? Because it's good to make lists like that, isn't it? Yeah. Katia.
Ian.
Good evening, Katia.
Good evening to you.
Good evening to you.
Yeah. Patara, that's a good restaurant.
Patara?
Yes.
How do you spell Patara?
Patara.
And whereabouts is that? I've not heard of that one.
I don't know, because I stumbled upon it. I know it's in London.
What? You hang on. You're recommending a restaurant called Patara, but you don't know where it is?
No. Somewhere.
What, when you say you stumbled upon it, were you drunk?
No. But it was a good choice. Really, really nice Thai food.
Oh, yeah, I like it at the time. Do you know what? I think at some point this weekend I may have to have a Chinese. There's a brilliant Chinese in Crouch End that does the best. It's not a vegetarian restaurant, but it does the best vegetarian food. I might have to go there this week, I think.
Yeah, well, that's a bit too far away.
Well, I'm not inviting you, Katia. Sorry, I would probably take my girlfriend. I think.
And I'm going to Patara. I hope very soon, because I have to celebrate my leaving London.
You're leaving London?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have to move up north to see the world.
What? So hang on. You're leaving London. Where are you going to?
177 kilometres away from it.
Hang on. What's that in miles? What's that? 90 miles, or is that, or is it miles more?
Probably. Yeah. You're not far away from that.
Yeah, 90 miles. Well, that's not that. Well, that's not north. 90 miles isn't north. What's that? That's not even Birmingham, is it?
It's Midlands, isn't it?
Well, Midlands aren't north. They're in the middle.
Well, I know it's in Lincolnshire where I'm going.
Okay. And are you going to live there?
Well, hopefully, yes.
Are you getting married?
What? To what? No. Why?
I just assumed that's what you'd be doing. You're going to get there to get married or something?
No. I'll tell you something about the town.
Please do.
It's extremely interesting, and because the fun never ends, does it?
No.
It's the only place in the world where the pub has a living signpost.
A living signpost?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it lives. It's called the Beehive. And behind the signpost, there is a real beehive.
Well, will you behave yourself? That's Incredible. It is. Well, the fun never ends.
Oh, okay. Well, bye then.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yes. Pat's in Stansted. Hello, Pat.
Oh, hello. Simple answer to fancy dress for you, Ian.
Yes.
James Bond. All men look superb in evening dress.
Do they though?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I've worn tuxedos and things like that, and I look smart for the first 5 minutes, and while I'm in the mirror, as soon as I step out of the room, I look down, I look all scruffy again.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just think I'm born scruffy.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Okay, well,
I can't, just pretend you're James Bond, and you will take on the image, won't you?
Well, that's it. Whenever a man does wear a tuxedo, of course he's pretending he's James Bond. Every man does.
And yes, I mean, that's a rather superior, in-charge look.
Pat, it's a very good idea. I shall put it on the list. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Last 15 minutes of the show. So hurry up. Pick up your phone. Restaurants that you recommend. Fancy dress. 9/11. Northern Rock. Could we cram any more fun into this show? It's the travel news now with Amanda.
Thanks very much, Ian. Well, the London Bridge closure is still in force to northbound traffic with that burst water main there. And it is likely to remain shut all this weekend, of course, and diversions. So at the moment, still via Southwark Bridge. But in about 15 minutes, that's going to shut to traffic in both directions. And that's for the Thames Festival, which is taking place over the weekend. So at the moment, after that, the traffic's going to have to use Blackfriars Bridge and Tower Bridge as an alternative. It's going to cause big delays on both sides of the river, especially though on the south side. Good news now to the western side of town. Bayswater Road is all open again to westbound traffic at Lancaster Gate Tube Station after clearance of the car fire there. Harrow Road in Sudbury remains shut both ways between Watford Road and Elms Lane with the burst water main, whilst in Tottenham the traffic lights aren't working on the roundway both ways at Launchship Lane, and in Ilford there are reports that Romford Road is shut both ways because of a crash at Little Ilford Lane. The tubes and the trains though are running well at the moment. LBC 97.3 travel, there's more throughout the night.
What would you like to learn if only you had the time? Are you curious about how to manage your money properly? Do you know the best way to learn a language? Or do you fancy tips on making even better conversation? If so, then you need our brand new service, LBC Learning. Pick up helpful hints and download courses which you can listen to anywhere and at any time.
This is the course for you, whether you want to learn French, German...
Conversation is the most intimate form of contact after sex.
Log on to lbc.co.uk/learning. LBC Learning. LBC Learning. Learn something new today.
From Mozart to Mahler, Beethoven to Brahms. You love their music, but how much do you know of their background? Starting this Saturday in The Independent, there's a different composer every day. Over the next 2 weeks, build up your collection on the life and times of the great composers. Find out what's behind the music you love. Starting this Saturday, free, only in The Independent.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
That's right. Excuse me, but the fun never ends. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. It's the last... What have we got here? Doing the maths. 12 minutes and 20 seconds of the show. And then, in all honesty, I'm looking forward to it because then it's the weekend for me. It's all over and I can go home and have some food, listen to the Psychic Show in one ear and watch Women Who Kill on Channel 5 as well. So that... will be very good. If you want to give me a call and come on the air and recommend a restaurant or give me a suggestion for a fancy dress, then you can call 0870 90. Oh, have we got a 5-2 break this time? We do have we do have one. Thank you, Alex. 0870 90 90 973. That's the number Khalid called. Khalid, what can I do for you?
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Actually, first of all, let me say this. It is now official. Ian, you're the most talented and interesting radio presenter,
Thank you, Khalid.
Since they've discovered the white loaf of bread. And basically...
Since the white loaf of bread, okay.
Yeah, specifically...
I prefer brown bread.
The white one.
I prefer granary. A nice granary loaf.
No, we stick to the... Anyway.
Actually, I just wanted to say this briefly. On that 9/11, I know it's been a few years, but what it is, there's this American radio station that analysed the whole thing, and this isn't to obviously discredit the fact that people did lose their lives, but they basically looked at it in an independent point of view and just raised questions about how the whole thing happened in terms of actual footages that were used to just analyse the whole thing. An example, the Pentagon, when the aircraft allegedly hit the building, there weren't any, tail, the aircraft, the wing, the engine, for instance, was, I think there was one engine left, but that was too small when they compared it with the actual 767. Things that question marks are asked, and for some strange reason, only one camera, I think one or two camera worked on the whole side of the Pentagon, which was again very, very weird.
Not as weird though as a bunch of guys hijacking some planes and crashing them into buildings. That's kind of weird.
It's true. But I mean, we don't actually have actual proof that they had that somehow a certain group of people had done it. I'm just basically looking at it at just one point of view, as in at the time of the accident, the incident. How the way the footages that were used by the main media, main TV stations. Basically, just analysing that without going too deep with it into who had actually done it, how many people had done it, and obviously the whole thing was a terrible thing in this world, and thousands of people did lose their lives, and there is no two ways about it. But it's just question marks that were raised, and maybe in a few decades, maybe the truth will come out. Like a lot of things, where then the.
But Carly, why can't you accept that maybe the truth has come out? And maybe what happened was what we saw happen.
Well, possibly. But if we look at what this radio station, I've actually got the video, and it was just interesting. And it doesn't mean for myself to actually doubt in 1 second exactly what had happened. But it's just things that you just sit back and think, there is something strange here, and basically it's the viewers to decide upon that. And it was interesting. But anyway, good show, love it.
Khalid.
I'm always one of your fans.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. 0870 9090 So Khalid there talking about the 9/11. If you want to give us your thoughts on that, you're more. I don't really buy into all these conspiracy theories about two planes crashed into the Twin Towers. They collapsed, and that's pretty much it. Yes. The American government got something out of it in as much as it gave them an excuse to go and do some silly wars and stuff like that. However tenuous, but I don't suspect they're behind it, and I'd be very surprised. John, hello, John. John, we've lost John in Beckenham, so we go to Trish in Barnet. Hello, Trish.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Trish.
I've got. How are you today?
I'm looking forward to it being Saturday.
Oh, well, have a great time. Hopefully.
Going to, yes.
Right. All I wanted to mention was there's a funky restaurant which I'm hoping you may have gone to, but there's two. One's called Sarastro's. Have you heard of it?
Sarastro's.
In Covent Garden. Sarastro's.
The name rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got all gardening stuff outside, and it's in 126 Drury Lane. And effectively, it's like a funky restaurant, but it's an opera restaurant.
All right.
And they do for 30 quid for 3-course or 4-course meal.
Yep.
And they have a live opera on a Sunday and Monday night.
Oh, that sounds very fancy, doesn't it?
And also a Sunday evening and Monday evening.
Oh.
But when you go in, there's another one which is down the road in Wellington Street, and but that's the one that doesn't do that. You can just walk in.
Right.
Because it's easy to get seats. But this other one, you have to book because it's booked up every night.
I bet it is.
Live music on a Sunday and Monday, but even during the week it's often booked.
Yeah.
250 spaces. The other one is called Papagino in Wellington Street. That one's got this kind of, when you walk in, there's a mummy all wrapped up and with his private thing, also sticking up as you...
What?
He sits on a chair, a mummy.
With his private thing sticking up?
Yes.
I don't
huge,
think I'd want...
but it's a huge
all
one.
right, they were in those days. I don't think
And
I'd
the
want to...
toilets are rude as well.
Oh!
Of orgies and
Oh!
Greek gods with like half animal and thing and doing naughty things. Really funky, but it's a really luxurious restaurant, all like near Ottoman and Baroque.
Trish,
so I hope you have a good time.
Thank you for that.
They used to actually come on LBC and I think it was Peter Dealey used to sample their food.
Oh well, they may come on again.
Salad. Yeah, definitely. Well, maybe you should call them and invite them in. His name is Big Boss Richard, King Richard.
Trish, I might just do that. Thank you very much. We can't rude restaurants with things sticking up and orgies in the bathroom. I don't know if that's the sort of direction that Richard Parkes wants this station to go. Really, I would be very surprised if when he took over, in the back of his head was let's talk about nudie restaurants. I can only apologise. 0870 9090 973. Telephone. Last few minutes of the show. An excellent time to give us a call. Suggestions of what I should wear at fancy dress, and also a list of good restaurants. It'd be really, really nice to have that. So do give us a call, and maybe I'll speak to you after this.
Time is like money. Any that you have spare is very precious. So why don't you invest some of your time in something really worthwhile? GlaxoSmithKline are looking for volunteers to take part in medical trials at Clinical Imaging Centre London. In return, you'll be compensated for your time and inconvenience. So if you're healthy and aged between 18 and 60, then call us today on 0800 707 6068. That's 0800 707 6068. And find out how you can invest in the future. Help us help people to do more, feel better, live longer.
Iain Lee's Good Evening.
Diane's in Bethnal Green. Hi, Diane.
Hello, love. You're right.
Yeah, your voice is a little bit deeper than I was expecting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not a complaint. It's a compliment. Trust me.
No, it's not normally like this. I just anyway.
Relax. You're relaxed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's about the fancy dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you say you didn't really want to go.
No.
Well, you can kill two birds with one stone.
Yes.
You can go as the Invisible Man. And you can say, well, I was there, but I was so good you didn't see me.
You're a borderline genius, Diane.
Isn't that good?
It's fantastic.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Are you a fan of the fancy dress?
No, oh no, dear. That's why I always go as the Invisible Woman.
Well done, you, Diane. Thank you for that. I think we may. Oh, you're gone.
So no, dear. It's just that I got another restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's called the Cherry Tree. And it's near the London Buddhist Centre, just round the corner to that, in Bethnal Green, Grove Road. It's fantastic. People are lining up to get in there.
Fantastic. Diane, thank you for that.
Bye-bye, dear.
Got to move on. Bye-bye, dear. John is back. Hello, John. No, he's not back. John. Thank you, John. Let's go to Jason.
What the hell's wrong with John?
I don't know. John doesn't seem to want to talk to me. Never mind.
I just thought that you could dress up as Parker from Thunderbirds.
Right.
Yes, me lady.
Yish, me lady.
Yeah.
He looks like Noel Gallagher, doesn't he?
Yeah, does it?
He does a lot. If you look at Noel Gallagher and Parker together, they've got the same eyebrows and the same silly face.
His nose is a bit funky, though, isn't
it? Yes. I need to... Right, OK, this is your project this weekend, Jason, is to get Noel Gallagher and Parker together and tell me if they look alike.
Have you ever fancied a dolly bird, as in Penelope? Lady Penelope?
No, I have not. Of course I haven't. Tony!
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Tony.
Suggestion for you going to the fancy dress.
Oh, yeah?
Either Kermit the Frog or any of the Muppets, and you wouldn't even have to buy a costume because everybody would know you as a Muppet already.
Right.
Also, will you stop having a dig at my cousin?
Who's your cousin?
My cousin Vinny.
What, the film?
No, Vinny.
Vinny? But
yeah.
The Muppets aren't heroes, though.
Yeah, nor are you, Ian.
No, but it's a hero-themed fancy dress party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are the Muppets not heroes?
Well, no, they're not. Well, Tony's put the phone down now. It's very odd there. I don't quite know what... I don't quite know where the confusion lay there. That was all very bizarre. Well, I tell you what, gang, this is as much fun as I can take in one evening. So I'm gonna say no to any more phone calls. Let's leave the phone calls. Oh, we've got an email here. Iain, Noel Gallagher. Maybe he is Parker. You never see them in the same room together. Think about it. It's true. They are almost identical faces. Anyway, that's it. Back on Sunday for a slightly different Triple M. And we will be replaying the Brian Wilson interview I did, and also having an excellent Japanese band. Say excellent. We don't know them, but I'm sure they're going to be superb. I'm looking forward to that. Have a lovely weekend. The Psychic Show is coming up next. Thanks very much. I shall be back on Sunday at 10. Take care. Bye bye.
On 97.3
DAB
and online.
London's biggest conversation. LBC.
At 10, Chris Langham weeps in court as he's jailed for downloading child porn. Northern Rock's customers queue up for their money, and England lose 36-0 to South Africa at the Rugby World Cup. It's 10 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Andy Hughes.